I'm Clint.
I don't care.
Welcome, Nation, to another episode of Rogue Nation. I have no idea what the number of this one is, but
30.
It's 30? Go
Dirty
with 30. Going with 30.
Yeah, I'm turning 30 this year.
All right, look at that.
Hey.
I'm sorry for your loss.
With me tonight is the 30-year-old Kevin to the core.
Yo.
And got the Hill Hunter Joe.
Happy 11 months, Luke.
Hey,
all
today.
right.
Today.
Yeah. Just George.
Hey,
And I'm the big man, Justin. And I'm going to give a brief shout out real quick to my wife's cousin, Clint, who lives in Minnesota. He's been listening to the show. He says he likes it. So I just wanted to mention him again. Thanks for listening.
Thank you.
Clint, like Hawkeye? Nice.
Oh, is he?
Yeah.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
I like him even more.
And he's a jack of all trades. I went to his house. He does like everything. So
Let's do Wendy woodworking, because, I mean,
yeah.
oh, dude, that's our Hawkeye right there.
You gotta insert now. I gotta insert the audio clip of Black Panther saying, "I don't care."
There you go.
I don't care.
So I think tonight we've got a lot of news on the TV front. So we're going to skip over toys and gaming and go right into comics to get that stuff going.
Hey,
I'm going to start off tonight because I want to mention it while it's still fresh in my head. I read Tales of the Dark Multiverse, Batman Nightfall, and I got to say I really enjoyed it. I thought it was a really good read. The whole thing is kind of prefaced by this character, Tempest Fugonaut, who is searching because he keeps mentioning there's another crisis coming. Oh, God. So, and I'm assuming it's going to be Scott Snyder's crisis because he's writing this book too. And he's just getting done with writing Justice League, so I'm assuming he's writing the next crisis.
but does Scott Snyder write this?
Yeah,
Does
he wrote
write,
this, yeah.
He wrote this Batman Nightfall thing.
Yep.
Oh, because he doesn't write the next one.
No, but he wrote this one.
Okay.
And this one deals with him, Tempest Fugonaut, coming and looking through the multiverse and the Dark Multiverse for warriors to help with the coming crisis.
A character that George and I are familiar with since Sideways.
He was introduced in Sideways, and Sideways was apparently going to have a part of this, but canceled.
And he's also in the Flash Forward, the Wally West thing about him traversing space-time.
Yes, as well.
Tempest Fugonaut saves him from his self-imposed imprisonment, takes him out, and then literally time and space displaces him.
Yeah, so he's been touched on a few places.
So this world is in a world where Batman did not reclaim the mantle of the Bat from Jean-Paul Valley from
After Nightfall.
After Nightfall. This is the future of that world where the Valley has taken over Gotham and is now known as Saint Batman. And he's when you first meet him, he's older, but the years have very much taken a toll on his body. He wheezes when he speaks.
Is he still in that Nightfall?
He's in a brand new Nightfall outfit. And he's, but it's still a really cool looking outfit.
That was cool. Okay.
But the thing is, he now uses Venom to stay alive, to actually go out into the world. So he's actually pumped up with Bane's Venom.
With Bane? Oh.
So, and he's all of Gotham has kind of fallen under his purview, where now everything is like there's the church, there's the executioner who's I can't remember. There's two villains that are pretty well known villains in the Batman verse who are now converted over to Batman's cause, and they're the executioner and like the preacher or something like that. And they're the ones that kind of they help him out and do. But everything's based around the church and everything like that. And this deals but the fucked up thing about this book is Bruce Wayne is still alive.
Jesus.
He's
allowed this?
He's dismembered and in a tower known as Wayne Tower. Yeah.
Like how dismembered is dismembered?
He's a torso and a head.
Holy.
Well, he's a quadriplegic.
No. Dismembered means when you have no arms and legs.
Right.
That's not a quadriplegic is when you can't move them.
Yeah.
Oh.
Well, it gets worse. It gets worse because his head is actually like his torso is down here, and then there's a long tube, and his head is up here.
Bro,
he's mechanic then.
So he's been separated from his torso on top of it.
Yeah, and then
so weird.
Jean-Paul visits him every year to get him to prove that to get him to say that Jean-Paul he was right, that Batman made the right choice in choosing Jean-Paul to be the new Batman. Then he won't do it. And they tell you every time he tried to do it, he removed a limb. That's why he's dismembered. He removed a piece of Bruce Wayne's body. Like, he wouldn't say you made the right choice, so he cut something off. To the point to where now he's just a torso and a head.
He's
That's cool.
Yeah, that was
crazy.
where when I got to that point in the book, I was like, whoa, there is something way different going on here.
I have to shout out to Toe George. I guess co-writer is Kyle Higgins from Power Rangers.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
So what ends up happening is the son of Bane, because John Paul killed Bane in this universe too. The son of Bane comes, and he doesn't need the venom. His body naturally produces
Okay,
it.
that's cool.
What? A naturally
That's cool.
venom-producing
Yeah,
Okay.
son of Bane?
yeah. And Lady Shiva show up.
Oh,
Yeah, and they implant Bruce with nanobots so that he could have his limbs
Right.
back and become Batman again. So he can help take down Saint Batman. But the book ends, because it's the Dark Multiverse. The book ends with Batman taking everybody down and then killing everybody else and going, "No, this is the way to do it. He was right. I have to take over Gotham."
So he was right, but Bruce wanted to do it.
Yeah, because it's the Dark Multiverse.
Yeah.
So it's everything's
That's a nice
everything.
twist.
It goes hand in hand with the overall message of the Scott Snyder Batman run of there needs to be a Batman in Gotham, but Bruce is selfish enough to it needs to be me.
Yeah, it needs to be him.
Right.
No
Yeah.
one else could
no
do
one
it.
else, right?
There was only one where he actually turns out happy, and that one got killed off.
Yeah. That's cool. So that was Tales from the Dark Multiverse Batman Nightfall.
Yeah, it was a book that I bought on a whim. I bought it because they refer to Batman in the book as Saint Batman, and I was like, I always liked the Jean-Paul Valley run, the Nightfall
Yeah, it was
run,
a good. Yeah, it was a good one.
and I liked the suit that they gave him and
I
everything.
love that suit.
That suit was amazing, and I was like, I
Fun
want
book,
to
yeah.
read this book.
Yeah, and just that cover is cool.
Yeah.
Of him holding Batman up over him.
Yeah.
As literally Gotham looks like it's like a blaze, and I love
Well,
that
'cause-
bottom. All hail Saint Batman.
Because in the book, the half of Gotham had burnt down, and
Wow.
then it was rebuilt by this.
by the order.
He still has the Ezreal.
And he's also
Cool.
betrayed because his Alfred is his wife,
Oh,
and she turned against him at the end of the book. She's the one that called Son of Bane and Lady Shiva in and everything like that to help.
so she's like.
But I mean, every time he talks, he's like he wheezes. It's like he can't really speak. Everything's like kind of decrepit, and then he goes out in the suit, and you can see the venom lines pumping in, and he's just like, oh, he's pumped up,
Jacked up.
Yeah.
It's interesting hearing him like that because I do have him in Justice League Odyssey, which I actually stopped because it is that terrible. But seeing him in there and in that book, he's
Well, he's Azrael. In
he's Azrael, but he's kind of pathetic because he has no direction, doesn't know what he's doing, doesn't know if he fits in. He's actually a stowaway. It's like he has this really pathetic storyline going on for him, and hearing him like that is just that's a lot cooler. I would much rather him be
Yeah.
Well, even
the
in,
Saint Batman.
even in this book, he's still being tormented by Saint Dumas.
Ah.
Because the whole thing is like he's got the Saint Dumas character in his head
Mhm.
he's telling him he's wrong, but all knows his conscience telling him he's not doing the
Exactly.
right thing. But it's just the whole time he's trying to convince Batman, or he's trying to convince Bruce that he was the right choice, but he's also trying to convince himself, and that's why the whole thing with Batman is him trying to convince himself that he did the right thing.
Dark and twisted in so many ways. That book.
So I read it on a whim. I loved it. I thought it was great. I recommend it. It's a very good book.
Yeah, I want to read that. Now I want to read the one that came out today now.
Which was the
The Death of Superman.
I might pick that one up now.
Dark
based off-
Universe twisted version of Death of Superman.
Mhm.
That's crazy.
Oh, shit, I did see that.
Yeah, that's like
Yeah.
Lois goes crazy after the death of Clark.
Right.
That's cool. I want to see that. I read that.
So, do we want to? I don't know. Let's get into some of these. You read Black Adam #1?
Yeah, I didn't want to talk. That's why I put so many damn picks. I didn't want to
Oh.
talk about all of them too much.
Well, I want to talk about Avengers 25.
Yeah,
So let's talk
that's
about-
why I left it last in my
Okay,
pick.
so what do you want to talk about? Batman
So the
Superman?
Black Adam, that's another one, kind of like you with the Dark Multiverse Batman Nightfall.
Mhm.
That was just kind of like on a whim.
Mhm.
So I read Black Adam on a whim, but the reason why is because it had direct connection to Batman Superman. Because I think the summary is that it's Black Adam in Karak, Kandarak. Well, damn, what's the city called?
Kahndaq.
Kahndaq. Jesus,
Close.
dude, the way it's spelled is really strange.
Kahnddaq.
No, I'm good. I'm good.
Kahndaq.
Yeah. So Kahndaq,
Kahndaq.
Kahndaq.
You guys say like Khan.
Yeah.
Kahn.
So the city of Black Adam City, Kahndaq, where he's essentially ruling it like a dictator.
Yeah, well, he's been doing that for a while.
Yeah. So the summary is that the infected Shazam is on his way to him.
That's something I would like.
So immediately I was just like, oh, I need to see this.
That's a nice little tie.
Yeah. So then when I read the previews on Comixology, it's just him ordering his men like prepare to fight for the city, and they're all like, he can even barely fight Shazam. How the fuck are we gonna do that? And on top of that, there's insurgents. There's like a rebellion,
Of course.
in the city. Besides the fact that an infected Shazam is coming. So I love the whole battle is amazing, but the scene infected Shazam is just Billy, like just saying like he's such an asshat because remember it's also Billy infected, and the way he talks is a kid. He's a kid, but he's talking like a madman, even though it's a kid. So he's like, oh yeah, I'm gonna build like new skyscrapers here. Yeah, screw your third world country. It smells like I don't know, like cow poop. Like, and he'll like literally say like really juvenile insults and like compare shit to like Fortnite and like video games and stuff like that. So of course, like Black Adam, he's getting pulverized by him, and he goes, "Look at all this." He goes, "You have an army just doing nothing, and they're all attacking." And Black Adam is ordering them continue shooting at the American until even I fall and you fall, but the city will stand. And like halfway, I'm kind of like rooting for Black Adam because I'm like, yo, like this is like really brave. I'm like, this is really impressive. And I love how like he's about to win. Shazam, infected Shazam, is about to kill him. He's literally about to kill him. He's already hurt a bunch of people from all this like Man of Steel level of like leveling the city and like all these crazy casualty. And then like the sun rises and he goes, oh, look at this. Like it's gonna be the last sun you see, Adam. And then then it'll be all about me. And he's like flexing because he's all like egotistical about it. And he goes, no, the people know that the city is for them. I fight for the people. And the people all bow and they start praying because it's sunrise or sunset. I don't know when is that they.
The sun is moving across the horizon.
So they start praying, and he goes, look at this, like you got, and he says all the things that make up their magic, like the wisdom of
Solomon.
So he's like, you got all this and that or whatever, but Black Adam has the other equivalent.
Yeah, the one for the Egyptian god.
The Egyptian god one. So he says them all, and he's like, you got all that, and he goes, and you got nothing on me, and he's there like insulting him in his face, and I like how the art like shows like Adam's perception, like his POV, and it's infected Shazam all up in him, and he's an infected, like he's hooded, but he looks so gnarly. And the way he attacks him is he says Shazam, turns into infected Billy. So says Shazam again. He keeps switching back to attack him.
Hit him.
But then he goes, you know nothing of true strength, and it's of people and prayer. He goes, what is your prayer going to do? And immediately a light just shines from the sky and traps Shazam, infected Shazam. And he's like, whoa, what the fuck? And I'm reading this and I'm like, what the hell is about to happen? And Black Adam is like defeated, but he slowly gets up and the people there are still praying. And he and this like light thing entraps Shazam that he can't change. He can't move. And he goes, leave and know that you were defeated by prayer.
Wow.
And this is like infected Shazam, and he goes, say the word, because in the attacks he gets entrapped as Billy. So he goes, say the words and never come here again, knowing that you were defeated by prayer.
Did Black Adam just advocate religion?
It was, dude, this book, I was like, what the fuck did I just read? It was kind of like Justin reading the Dark Multiverse Nightfall. I was like, what was this?
That's interesting. Yeah. I'm surprised you actually read it just because you don't like magic.
It was just right, exactly. It's true. I did, but again, I didn't expect this ending.
Oh yeah, I mean it's very out there.
I just wanted to continue reading because I've been reading Batman Superman and I've been liking it, and I like the thing of infected Shazam going off to him, which leads me to, because that was like a sequel-esque to the ending of Batman Superman #2, which was infected Shazam leaving. after that battle. And then the plan is to somehow dupe Batman Who Laughs, who's in the Hall of Justice prison, that he was successful in infecting Superman. So that was number 2. It ends with that. And number 3, which is what I want to talk about now, in Batman Superman number 3, still dealing with that, it's moments immediately after. So it's infected Superman, supposedly, talking to Batman Who Laughs. And he's believing it. As an audience, you believe, like, oh, it's a charade or whatever. Yes and no. Batman, in the earpiece talking to Clark, he's telling him, like, you know, ease a little bit, breathe or whatever. And I'm like, what the fuck is going on? You learn that through Bruce's plan was, or more Clark's, because of his Kryptonian physiology, he thought he could take the toxin better than humans. So he did infect himself. He is, in fact, infected with the Joker toxin.
The Joker toxin?
But he's like keeping it like at bay. He's keeping it at bay as he's talking to Batman Who Laughs. And I love how the font changes when, as he's speaking, it will change, and in the middle of the font change, it'll turn into like a blood red haha, and he'll go back to him speaking.
Ooh, I like that.
Yeah, and he'll literally twitch and smile. The art is really cool details in that. I'm like, what the fuck? So he lets him out. He escapes. And then Batman Who Laughs is like, all right, I'll tell you my plan of who I was going to infect next. And he says like a bunch of like I think he says like a bunch of leaguers. I can't remember any actual names. And Batman's like, he knows, you know, cut the charade. And then like a hologram turns off. And Batman Who Laughs is still caged.
Wow.
It was a hologram, like a Justice League hologram. But Superman still is infected.
Yeah.
So he's about to snap and like attack him. And he goes, "What do you think? I was gonna like tell you my plans or whatever. It's not like I was gonna shine the light in the night sky, right?" And he goes, "We're leaving." And Superman's like, "But we didn't get anything." He goes, he let it slip. We're going back to Gotham. But he's like, "But you're staying here." So he like stabs him with the antidote, and oh my god,
Anti-venom,
antidote. Mm-hmm. But it's taking a long time because again, it's Superman fucking Kryptonian physiology. So he's there talking, of course, with the ha-has, whatever. He goes, "I'm going to Gotham without you. You need to stay here and soak up some more sun so you could get this toxin out of you." So he goes to Gotham, immediately goes to Gordon, and he goes, "This is who you met. That you weren't gonna just shine the light, the answer in the sky, like Gordon does with the bat symbol." And just as he's attacking him, Gordon is dropping these crazy truth bombs that I even posted on our Instagram.
Yep.
One of my favorite truth bombs is just like you're the infection that Gotham has never needed. How many criminals have you created? Police members that I've gone to funerals. How many more Robins have to die for you to understand?
Oh,
Wow.
And I was like, and then when it reveals that last line, it reveals Gordon, like infected Gordon, bro, and he's like purple, red, blue, black eyes. He's like almost like grinding his teeth talking to him. And mind you, he's like driving. Batman like attacked like his van. And then he gets attacked by like some henchman or whatever. And just before he could get killed, that Gordon has him in his aim, Superman arrives. But he's still like a little infected. He's still like, "Oh, how'd you know it was Gordon?" Haha. And
so
like,
twitches out.
Yeah, he's still like twitching on, whatever. And
He glitches like Spider-Man in Spider-Verse.
yeah,
Oh,
exactly.
little
Think of it
glitch.
that way, but like Joker-esque.
Yeah.
So I can't. Again, I read this last week. I can't remember. They got some kind of object. I can't remember what it was. Something that Gordon had on him that he was on the way to like disperse or something like that. Something of like some information. So they're like, whatever. They take down infected Gordon. They're like, okay, what do we do now? Superman is like, what do we do now? He goes. Batman's like, I don't know, but it can't be anything I think because he's already thought of it. And he goes, so we'll do what he won't expect. What would Superman do? So they go to Fortress of Solitude.
I was going to say, we'll do what he won't expect. Get naked and have a dance party.
What the fuck?
No, Star-Lord isn't a part of this.
Yeah, for real. It's not a Marvel movie. So they in the Fortress of Solitude, they scanned the, I can't remember what it was, some like drive or whatever, in the Kryptonian computer, and they're talking about like, okay, like who could it be, and like what's the next move or whatever, and Helix. Helix, the name of the robot of the Fortress of Solitude, is like about to attack Superman about to attack Superman himself. And it was, no, it's me, stand down or whatever, Helix, because it's treating him like something foreign because of the toxin and whatnot.
The infection.
So then, as they're speaking about again like next moves or whatever, it starts like going haywire, and Batman's like, "Is that supposed to happen?" And he goes, "No." And then the Helix starts malfunctioning, and then they see like, "Fuck!" I can't remember what was the object. The object has infiltrated the Fortress of Solitude, and then Helix starts like looking like he's like boiling, like molding or something, like bubbling, and then he cracks open, or like think of like how Eddie Brock in the Marvel comics like comes out of the Venom symbiote.
Yeah.
Think of it like that. Like Helix literally comes off, and an infected Blue Beetle comes out.
Jesus.
And that's how it ends. And then Blue Beetle infecting the Fortress of Solitude.
Fuck.
Yeah. And then
Unexpected.
I know
Yeah,
it's something,
right?
and I know something's like, oh, I'm gonna drown you in like evil fucking technology or whatever. Like he literally starts making the Fortress of Solitude wrap around him.
Oh wow.
So like imprisoning them.
Well, because the crystals are technically like alive. You can mold
Yeah.
them and stuff. Wait, but if Blue Beetle gets involved, does that mean Booster's gonna get involved? Because those are bros.
No, I know some. I know it was on Twitter that the Sinister Six or the Secret Infected Six or whatever, the Infected Six.
I was gonna say, don't say Sinister Six.
No, it was that. It was the Infested Six leaked, like who it was. That's why I knew Gordon was.
I did see
because
that.
of the ending of Batman Who Laughs, and I knew Shazam because of that same tweet, and just how I knew about Blue Beetle.
Well, Shazam was on the cover, so
The rest I don't remember.
that kind of sucks that they leaked that.
Yeah, they leaked that, which sucks that I kind of knew about Blue Beetle. I just didn't know when. But the rest I really don't remember now, which is good.
Yeah, stay away from that.
Which is good. But yeah, so that was Batman Superman #3 by Josh Williamson. I'm liking it a lot because of that. And I liked that random Black Adam solo, which was villain Year of the Year, yeah. Year of the Villain, Black Adam. Yeah, because I haven't been reading any of them. But I wanted to read that because of the connection to Batman Superman and the Infected. But of course, the one that we all want to talk about before the big books of the week is Avengers #25.
I mean, you say we all, but that's not me.
Now,
Dude, you should though, because this race of the writers was amazing. The challenge of the writers.
No, I will only read so many Marvel books. Sorry, DC fanboy.
Marvel's on fire, man.
Priorities.
I know they are. I know.
Priorities, man. Priorities.
Yeah.
Priorities, good
Jason
stuff.
Aaron's Avengers has been one of the books.
You were telling me to read the book. What were you saying? I was going to be more excited for the Iron Man thing or the
the cliffhanger. Well, the Starbrand thing and the cliffhanger of him ending up in the Avengers BC era.
Joe, did you read this?
No, not yet.
You read 25?
I'm not reading Avengers.
Oh,
I'll only listen to it.
Man,
Oh man,
and it's so good.
Yes. Well, this book is.
All right, sell me and Joe on this.
I ain't gonna sell shit to
Oh,
you. If
okay,
you read it or don't read it. I don't give a fuck.
Dang.
It's the challenge of the Ghost Riders,
It's
where
the
Johnny
last part.
Blaze is the king of hell, but
He's-
then he dragged Robbie Reyes to hell to do this challenge.
The whole thing is that he's got to get the power of the Ghost Rider. So if he wins the race, he gets their power because he needs it. Because he's telling you he needs it to rule hell.
Doesn't he already have it?
He does, but he needs more because he tells you in this issue that not everybody, and you get it from the Ghost Rider. I reviewed Ghost Rider #1. You get it from that too. Is like he rules hell, but not everybody, not all the demons in hell are really respectful of
There's
him.
even factions that are like against him.
Yeah. So he needs more power to kind of subjugate him. He doesn't have the power of Mephisto. He needs that level of power, so he needs to take the power of the writers.
So if it's going to split his power too many ways, and Johnny doesn't have enough power.
I get the idea that it's each writer has his own version of the power because it used to be that the writers were powered by Zarthos or Xanatos or something like that.
Yeah, Xanatos.
Or
Whatever, the Z dude.
Yeah, but I think they've kind of gotten away from that now because this is the whole point of this book is that he's still in the race with Johnny Blaze. Robbie Reyes is still in the race, and his uncle has been given the power. His uncle, who was in the trapped in the Charger, the one that's basically he's given the power of the dead Celestial that they killed in the first arc. Because that's how Johnny gets the one over on him. Is like, well, you're not going to get past this guy.
Yeah.
And it's the giant Celestial that died in the first arc of Avengers.
He doesn't belong in hell.
Yeah. So
And even emotional ties, Robbie sees his parents in hell.
mhm.
Fuck.
In the last issue, he
Yeah,
also
Johnny's
meets,
fucked up.
in the last issue he also meets like a whole bunch of other writers too.
You know, every time we say Johnny, I need everybody to know that I imagine Nicolas Cage. So
Jesus
it makes it even funnier.
Yeah, well, there you go.
That's almost as bad as Punisher. He calls every Ghost Rider Blaze. Even Donny Ketch. He calls him Blaze. And he's like, I'm not Blaze.
Your head's on fire, Blaze.
But he's
Yeah.
Danny or Frank, Cosmic Ghost Rider, is the one that pulls the Avengers to help Robbie, because he was sent by Johnny Blaze to attack the Avengers to keep them busy, but he's crazy, so he thought he was just sent there because he was supposed to kill him.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
thought the Avengers were working for Blaze.
Yeah, and when they finally say no, we need to get to him, he's like, okay, I'll take you guys. So he takes him to hell, and he was like, he's gonna go toe. He wants to go toe to toe with Blaze. So the whole thing is the continuation of the race, which Robbie does win. It's the race to the throne.
Oh, the Charger versus the bike.
Yeah. But he doesn't get there in the Charger. The Charger ends up dying because he ends up getting there like Captain Marvel, Carol.
Yeah,
She's got like
steering an Asgardian boat
Yeah.
with like Wakandan engines and
It's super comic booky.
yeah.
Well, no. Have you
It's
ever seen-
everyone put something together in this boat.
Have you ever seen the Asgardian ships? They're all boats.
Yeah,
They're all Viking boats. In fact, that was one of the funny things about one of the great things. There was an issue of when Jane Foster was still Thor. They were the Asgardians were going to attack this realm of gods, and it was just a sea
of ships.
of boats in space, just flying towards
They're not boats; they're ships.
their boats. They don't have cockpits, dude. They're open air boats. They should have sails on them. But no, she's flying a Asgardian boat with Wakandan
There's
engines.
no wind in space.
Huh?
There's no wind in
I
space.
said they should have sails. They don't.
It's sails with engine behind them, so that way it causes the movement.
Comics.
Comics, yeah. So she ends up helping him win through doing that, as their other Avengers are holding Blaze back as he gets to the throne.
That's cheating.
Hey,
Gotta
man.
win how?
I
Somehow.
mean, it is
Exactly.
hell. I guess there's no rule.
Blaze fucked up because he had like all of hell literally attacking the Avengers and Robbie.
Mm-hmm.
I
They
mean,
had
you're in-
putting up
you're in
roadblocks.
hell.
They had putting up roadblocks for the Charger, so they couldn't
Those
get by.
roadblocks.
Yeah.
And he couldn't get through the charge. That's hilarious.
So the whole thing, he wins. Robbie wins, and of course Johnny Blaze is like, you don't know what you've done. You've done the blah blah blah.
yes.
And
Speech.
I forget what happens after that. What happens?
Yeah, because he kept saying he's like, I'm doing you a favor, kid. And
But I know that Frank, like Cosmic Ghost Rider, comes up and he finally has like a face to face with Johnny Blaze, but I don't remember what happened.
Time displays, Frank Castle, Cosmic
But
Ghost
he
Rider over here.
stays. He ends up staying. He doesn't get sent back.
I
Of
care
course, he's
nothing
popular
for
right
you.
now. We're in a community story.
Right.
it's true. I don't remember his ending. But I remember Blaze telling the kid, Robbie Reyes, he's like, you know, you're horrible, you're the worst Ghost Rider. He goes, yeah, but something that all of you didn't need to do was do stuff alone.
Damn, that's deep. That's a deep
Yeah,
cut.
because that was the difference is the Avengers helped him.
Yeah.
You got me?
So he's a terrible Ghost Rider, but he's a good Avenger. Essentially.
That's actually a good way to put it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that was cool. There was this point where Thor goes up against Johnny Blaze, and he puts the hammer on his chest so he can't get up, just like in the first Thor movie.
Yeah.
But Blaze pulls another one. He's like, dude, I'm in hell, and he just sinks into the ground.
Yeah. This is my hometown. And I home field advantage here. But yeah, doesn't that mean that Robbie Reyes is now the king of hell?
No, but he wins the race, but he does it. He like abdicates.
Okay, so who runs hell now?
No, Johnny Blaze still runs hell.
So I beat your ass, but I'll give you back the throne. I don't want the
No, but
responsibility.
he doesn't take his power.
That's boring.
Wasn't that the whole
There should
point?
be some consequence to this.
There probably will be in the Ghost Rider issue. That's probably what.
Yeah, that makes sense. That way you can read back and forth.
I've never got into any Ghost Rider, so that's
I never did too until Cosmic, and then I started
Right.
really paying attention.
That's the only. He's the only one I like. The other two Ghost Riders. Like,
Honestly, before
Okay.
Robbie Reyes, I didn't know there was more than one.
well, Johnny's the original one.
I knew of Danny Ketch, but I thought like, okay, he was just like a one-off side dude, and then Blaze got it back or something like that.
Yeah, I was like,
But then Robbie Reyes, I knew of because he was an all-new design, like an all-new jacket. He was a different
His
kid,
skull was
different.
Mexican. He has a Charger. Like,
Yeah, it's a car. Because everybody else was a
Why is he
motorcycle. When
got
I was a
arrested?
kid, it was Danny Ketch. That was the big book. Was the Ghost
That's
Rider
what he is.
Danny
I know.
Ketch, yeah.
I didn't even know about it. I actually knew Johnny Blaze. I thought he was.
Oh, that was the
dude.
book everybody. When I was a kid, that was the book everybody was looking for. Was that Ghost Rider #1? Everybody wanted that book. It's a very famous cover.
Wow.
Everybody wanted that book. And then it wasn't until Robbie Reyes became Ghost Rider, and I was like, a car. Why didn't I think of that? That would have been
Because he
great.
had a Charger.
Yeah,
Like that makes sense for some
it's
reason.
always been motorcycles. It's always been
I just love his jacket.
yeah,
I gotta say, I love his jacket.
and I love the way that they've dubbed the car is the Hell Charger.
Yes,
It's so cool.
because you have the Hellcat,
Yeah.
which is an actual model of car, so it's fantastic.
Yeah, so here we go. So you got the whole thing where Johnny Blaze and Ghost and Cosmic and Frank Castle go up against each other. He's like, "Okay, it's time to die." And he's like, "Dude, you don't understand. The worst thing you guys could do to me is just leave because they're leaving him in charge of hell."
Don't leave me alone out here, guys.
Because so the last thing you
Yeah,
see
so he
with
just sinks into the ground, just
Yeah.
like
and the
whatever.
last thing you see with Cosmic Ghost Rider is he just flies off into space. He's like, basically, he's like, "I can't do no more damage around this popsicle stand. I gotta get the fuck out of here."
I'll be honest. Cosmic Ghost Rider is one of those recent creations that has just been absolutely fantastic, as well as Batman Who Laughs, another
Yeah.
fantastic recent creation.
Well, there every once in a while you get like the zeitgeist in the world. It culminates and creates a character that everybody just universally explodes.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
And it only
Spider-Gwen.
happens every-
Spider-Gwen blew up in the
Spider-Man-
first year.
Yeah,
Miles Morales?
Spider-Gwen's one.
Miles.
Miles Morales took a little while for people to warm because remember they had to kill Peter Parker to get Miles Morales. But
But then
now I
separately.
would say now I would say yes.
He took a little build up,
But,
but
like-
they kept working on him.
But see, with this character, like how many villains have they introduced for every character over the years that have just died?
How many heroes have they introduced? That
Exactly.
just failed?
Right.
But-
Sideways.
But
Uh,
But then every once in a while, something just pops, and everybody's just into it. Like, I want to know more about that character.
Yeah.
And Ghost Rider, Cosmic Ghost Rider is one of the last ones they've done where it's just like, well, everybody wants to know more.
Yeah.
Same thing with Batman Who Laughs. Batman Who Laughs is just one of those characters. Like, how could
And he's in
a
everything
Batman
now.
that's a Joker? How did we not think of this? And it just works. So people want to know, and they just explode. I've talked to a couple of different comic book shop dealers that because I love Cosmic Ghost Rider. I try to buy up all the covers and shit with Cosmic Ghost Rider, and I've all talked to them, a couple of shop owners, and they're like, Cosmic Ghost Rider shit is hot. You put him on a cover, it's gone.
damn.
Yeah, it's just and it's true because they did that one month where all the covers had Cosmic Ghost Rider on it.
Right.
Some of those books are hard to get.
Hey, think about it this way: how many? I want to say almost decades has Frank Castle been the serious, strong, silent type? Forever.
Right.
Well,
This new version of him.
Literally reimagined him.
This is one of those things about Donny Cates that makes him so great is that he can take a character that has been well established and well known that seemingly is untouchable as far as changes go.
And
But then
keep on heading.
again, because every time they have tried to change Punisher, it's never worked.
It always reverts back.
Well, he was a demon hunter at one time. He was a dead demon hunter, angelic demon hunter.
Yeah.
I mean, they've tried to change him over and over and over again. It just never worked. So you would think that they would put a lock on that character. It says, no changes to Punisher. He works the way he is. Don't need to change him. And then Donny Cates comes along and says, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to make him a fucking Ghost Rider.
But it does it like a one-offs, like
Yeah,
a side
and it just
story.
explodes. And the fact that that Frank Castle's Cosmic Ghost Rider is actually kind of one of the minor points to that character.
100%.
You know,
There's
it's
so
like,
much more to him.
He's like, you talk about Cosmic Ghost Rider, and then it's almost like an afterthought. Oh yeah, and by the way, he's Frank Castle. Like what? He's the Punisher too?
He has his own mythos built up around him, and he's only been
I mean,
around
A
a year.
Herald of Galactus?
Well, the fact that he was Ghost Rider on an Earth with nobody on it, so he rode around Earth, went insane from being alone.
Hundreds of years.
Yeah, and then Galactus showed up and became a herald. So he has the power cosmic, and he became a herald of Galactus for thousands of years. And then he was subjugated to Thanos.
Thrice curse.
I mean, and then he was a herald of Thanos for years.
Yeah.
So I mean, and then the other thing is like he would get his penance stare, which is supposed to scare the shit out of scare the shit out of people
All your
and make them
sins and everything
repent
come
and
up.
everything like that. And then Thanos used to eat it for breakfast. It was like, here, give me the penance stare in the morning.
Yeah, that was his hard on right there.
Yeah. Like, I need a little I need a little pop to get. It's like
it
was his morning cocaine. It was just a
Dude.
little bump to get him going.
was the
in the day.
thing, yeah, that was a little bump.
Hey, there was a villain who used to use cocaine as his power. It was hilarious back in the 80s.
So I mean, there's just so much to that character. So back to Avengers. Avengers ends with Robbie keeping the Ghost Rider abilities. He's staying on the Avengers team, and he's driving through the desert with his brother, basically telling him things are going to be different from now on. Then you got Ghost Rider flying off into space saying, I gotta leave, I can't be on this planet anymore.
I just like he says, like, there's more colorful characters for me to kill in space.
Well, yeah, he's on this whole Cosmic Ghost Rider kills the Marvel Universe tip.
Yeah.
And then it cuts to
That's what it is.
and then it cuts to Iron Man in a cave.
He is getting his own book of Cosmic, what is it? The Revenge of Cosmic Ghost Rider.
Yeah, probably him traveling through time, killing people.
No, I hope it's not time.
Yeah, they gotta stop with the time thing with him. That's
Seriously.
Well, the thing is, he only exists in the future. What are you going to do in a dystopian future?
I'm just saying, they need to stop that.
Call Warner Bros.
Oh,
Why?
God.
Why?
They'll figure it out for you.
So
kill it.
the book ends with
Exactly.
Iron Man in a cave, and in last issue, Iron Man they had found what's it called? Okoye had come to Tony and said they found a replica of, well, not a replica, but they found an Iron Man mask in a cave,
Fossilized.
but it's made of metal. So it was Iron Man's helmet at one time. So he goes into the cave to figure out more, and then he ends up getting time displaced, I guess.
Yeah.
You guys mentioned this. I swear, I feel like it's been a month that you guys mentioned this. And
But in this book, you find out that he gets time displaced back into
BC?
to the BC years when the original Avengers
Million
Avengers.
BC.
million BC, and he's lived on. Not only has he lived there for a while, but he's also been fending off the advances of Mephisto.
Of course.
Wow.
Hey, Mephisto's, I think they're gearing up for something big with him.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's been in a lot of books.
Yeah.
But then the next issue, though, is the origin of the Star Brand from the million BC.
I like that.
Yeah,
The Star Brand's, that's another big deal.
They're hot. They're original.
I know, Kevin. You're not a big fan of the. I think you said you weren't a big fan of the origin issues for those characters.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm always.
Well,
I'm always a
not
fan.
the one of like each individual one, but I like them as the team already.
I do too. I'm hoping they give them a book.
But I mean, the original was nice, like Agamotto, the original Iron Fist,
Yeah.
the original Star Brand. That's pretty cool.
The original Black Panther.
The original Black Panther.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Odin with
Young Odin.
Young Odin with the hammer.
Yeah,
Yeah. And
which
Phoenix.
doesn't necessarily make sense with the hammer because I could have sworn that was later, but
No,
no, you made it early on. Just had it laying around.
well, it was made early on. This is kind of retconning it and making it sound like he had that hammer before he had his spear.
And it sounds like he had the hammer before anything. Actually, did he have two eyes? Does Odin have two eyes or one? Because
No, I think he's still got the two. I don't remember.
if he has two, that's before the wisdom.
Before he
the
hammers
All-Father.
himself to the tree. Yeah.
Exactly. Whatever. Valhalla lore.
So the next book
Norse.
is King. Well, speaking of Valhalla and King and everything, we got King Thor #2.
That's why I wanted to segue.
Great transition.
So King Thor #2, I have to say, another book where you're reading it and you're like, this is only the second issue.
Oh.
You know, another book that is just slam action packed.
You can tell Jason Aaron is really going he's going 100. He's going at 100 speed.
Yeah.
Like writing Thor for the last time.
100's being nice. I feel like this man's going like 1,000% into this.
Yeah.
So this issue starts off with where last issue left off, where Gore has returned, and he talks about how he was dead and was existing in the sweet oblivion of nothing, and then the Necroblade resurrected him, and it was actually resurrected by Loki to do it, and now he's the god of god butchers.
Yeah.
I love that there's a line in there where he goes to Loki, he's like, as butchers, both of us. And Loki's like, do you want to compare notes or something? I've killed a lot of people. Don't dismiss
No,
me."
but I love how Gore says like to Justin's point of like he was liking the nothingness. He was just like, it was my paradise. There was no gods.
Yeah, because he was trapped in a black hole for the eon.
Fuck.
Yeah, he says his whole transition.
He's like the ultimate goth.
I don't know about goth. I mean, goth-like people. Like, he's the ultimate, like, maybe emo.
So you have both Thor and Loki nailed to X's,
Created
Gore.
by the black,
Necroblade.
The Necroblade.
Yeah, you have Loki giving up what he had left of the blade to Gore to kill Thor, and Gore having that really he's like, take it. Gore's like, I already did.
It's like, I've had this, bro. Come on.
And then he puts him on a cross. But I really like this one scene of Thor using the Thor Force to because it's not the Odin Force anymore. It's the Thor Force. To blast Gore into, because he even says, he's like, I blasted him into the cosmos. We got to get out of here, or into the atmosphere
Before he comes back.
Yeah,
And Loki's just like a little bitch staying there.
and
But I love like the whole book. It's this debate of why did Loki bring him back?
Yeah, you don't realize until like the second half of the book that Loki, there's more reasons to it than
Yeah,
just killing Thor.
like Thor keeps believing it's like, that he can never do the final blow of killing like Thor. So he's like, okay, I'm gonna get Gore to do it. But Gore's like, no, he can't kill himself. Like, it's to eradicate the world of all life and all gods.
No, all gods, not all life. All life comes after the fact when he realizes humans still pray.
Right.
Mhm.
And he's like, I'm so sick and tired of people praying to gods. Because he prayed and no one came.
It's so good.
You have this one scene of Thor calling, because in the last book, Loki used the Necroblade to black out a sun,
Mm-hmm.
and then the hammer was stuck in the sun too. You have this scene with Thor calling the hammer back. He goes to Asgard first to pick up his sword, and then they
I
go to
love
fight.
that.
And then,
It is a ride.
but
Yeah,
then
it makes a detour.
while Gore is in
his sword to him.
yeah, while Gore is in space, you have him calling back all the black from the sun that he blotted out to create this giant blade that they called the Doom of Gods.
But not only did he call back the
Annihilate
black, the Annihilate. But not only did he call back that black, but the ravens that were fighting the Sisters of Thunder,
Mm-hmm.
which
His
anyone notice-
granddaughters.
Yeah, his granddaughters. Did anyone notice that one of them is riding a shark?
Yeah, that's awesome.
I was like, okay, cool. A shark in
And
space.
one is a billy goat like young Thor.
Two are billy goats.
Oh, I thought only one was.
No, two. Two are billy goats. One is a shark out of nowhere.
That's so funny.
It's so random.
So it keeps going with. I mean, there's just planets being destroyed in this.
Suns being pulled together.
Yeah, Hammer, Thor being overrun, and then Gore and him going back and forth, and then Loki jumping into the fray, and it's just I mean, this book is just fucking amazing.
I just love that before Loki jumps into the fray, the new humans, which are kind of Viking-esque, Norse-esque of this time frame, they start praying, and Loki's like,
Even for Loki, who's
Yeah.
been like in like its own weird way, like crucified, sort of.
yeah, because they're on the X. So, but Loki's like, there's no gods left. There's no one left to pray to, and they're still praying. They're praying for Loki. They're praying for Thor.
Mm-hmm.
They're like, again, this kind of goes back to the Black Adam issue that you read, Kevin, where prayer is kind of like giving this sort of power, and Loki decides to join in.
But it's also the adversary. It's the reason why they that the villain wants to destroy them.
Yeah, because his prayers weren't answered. But hey, not everyone's prayers get answered.
Mm. So
Sometimes you gotta be
You
your
got-
own god.
you got Thor and Loki
Go for that.
up against Gore, and Gore just overwhelms them. And then, like a true writer that Jason Aaron is, he ends this book on a cliffhanger
Oh, God.
where both Thor and Loki are being enveloped by the darkness of the
And the
Necroblade.
panel just shifts slowly.
Yeah, and it just gets darker and darker and darker.
No,
and, it's
so
just,
it's
and
full
that's
black.
where it ends.
But as it's fading darker and darker, it's their hands reaching for each other.
Yeah.
Those
In their final like breaths and moments.
Aw.
That's crazy.
And to mention, Loki is semi-dismembered, cut off at the torso, one arm, and both eyes. So he's blind. He can't even. And he says it's like, I can't even see Thor's like, what was it? It's him being tortured in his final moments.
Yeah, he's like, I can't even enjoy watching you get tortured. But I love how
But they
like
reach
we
out.
have one good eye between us both.
Yeah, one good eye,
Yeah.
two good arms, because I think Thor's arm is messed up.
Yeah.
And it's just
Well, yeah, because he has the metal arm.
yeah,
and I think
he's got the destroyer arm.
yeah. Which, I mean, but there's still, I love those final scenes of them reaching out. It's almost like that painting at the Sistine Chapel.
Mhm.
Bro, it's
Very
just,
reminiscent.
I love Isaac Rubix. I was telling George about like his art style, like how it took him a while to get into it since the God Butcher stuff, the first fucking arc that Jason Aaron and Isaac Rubik did together.
Yeah.
The Isaac Rubik's art and kind of like the colors mesh. I told you that it almost feels like a gothic cave painting.
Yeah, it does.
Where it blends like naturally / unnaturally.
It almost looks like it doesn't belong in a comic. It looks like it belongs on a wall.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. Like it feels like it belongs like in a cave.
Mm.
But it's so gothic because it's always dark, muted colors.
His color palette is super on the dark side. Even his like brighter reds and orange are still very muted, and then it's very scratchy.
To me,
Like,
it really
if you zoom in, it's very scratchy.
to me it brings out like the feeling of it's a North like fairy tale that we're watching essentially.
Yeah. I love it. It's fantastic. You know, I can't
Another
keep
great
going.
read for sorry when Jason Aaron's run's going to be over, but
I would be sad, man.
Yeah.
But
when
it's
he
completing it. It's coming full circle.
when he tweeted today, and I told you guys both when he tweeted today of like writing. I told you, George, and I told Justin. So this is new to Joe, at least, and to the listeners. That Jason Aaron tweeted that's like I'm the beginning of the end, writing the first draft of the last Thor, my last Thor story.
Last story.
In 7 years, man.
And what a journey it's been.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah, 100%.
He's literally redefined the character to a point like, dude, like I could tell people I like Thor now. I'm reading Thor now because of Jason Aaron.
And the weird thing is, Thor involves magic too, so that's that's a big one for Kevin.
Yeah.
Kevin hates magic for those who don't know.
Yeah, and because
Well, if
of
you're a
him,
listener, you know.
because of that, it's like it kind of gave me like a thirst of like I want something barbaric. Thus, what I've discovered now with Marvel books and also Jason Aaron as well of reading Conan. Less magic, more horror sometimes, which is cool, but there is
incorporated.
This still incorporates some magic, which is which I'm enjoying grounded magic. Let's coin that term.
Yeah, because as someone who likes fantasy, I love high fantasy. There are a billion different magic systems,
Right.
and different ways to do it. And I feel like in Thor, it makes sense.
In Thor, it's more fantasy. It's very much more fantasy.
It's very much more fantasy.
I mean,
but
we're
it
just
makes
talking
sense.
about fucking ships in space.
Well, but I mean, I can sit here and have a whole explanation on how it makes sense for XYZ reason, but at the same time, it's still just me being, a high fantasy nerd.
Well, I'd rather just move on to our big book fight.
I agree because I love it.
Before we get into the big book, I gotta detour real quick to the old man corner because Masters of the Universe has got a new comic coming out that me and Joe wanted to talk about real quick. We just want to mention it.
Get in there.
I forgot.
You forgot about it, right? Yeah.
Come on, speak up, Joe.
change.
Get excited.
Come on, Joe.
This book is basically going to be the Crisis on Infinite Earths of He-Man
What?
Masters of the
Next
Universe.
up.
Yeah,
What?
it's going to be the multiverse of He-Mans.
Yeah.
What?
Where, it's going to be a universe of a multiverse of problems, and they have to go to different universes of He-Mans and Skeletors to figure out the problem.
That's kind of cool. I'm down for it.
Yeah, so they're bringing back Dolph Lundgren's He-Man.
That's funny.
Because they're including the movie, the 2000X cartoon, the original cartoon.
Mm-hmm.
So
So all He-Mans will be
technically, there's only 3 different He-Mans.
8. That's still more He-Mans than we've ever had before.
Right.
Yeah, this is a book written by Tim Seeley and artist Dan Fraga, and it's He-Man and the Masters of the Multiverse.
I love it. I'm sold.
That's so
And
good.
it literally is because it's like there's a big. This is the synopsis. The big threat called Anti-Eternia that's wiping out Eternias in various continuities to build up its powers. All the different He-Men have to team up against the Force and to help turn the tide. They're going to need to bring in one world's Prince Keldor, the pre-melty-faced Skeletor.
Right.
Whoa, we get
Because-
multi-face Skeletor?
Yeah, because in 2000X, he's technically He-Man's brother.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay,
Skeletor.
I'm shocked and I'm okay
No,
with this.
uncle. Excuse me.
Uncle. That's he's
'Cause
he's
King Randor's
Randor's brother.
Brother. Sorry.
So that's one of the covers.
Also, they pulled in a Lion King.
Sort of, yeah.
Yes.
You know what it looks like, especially that cover. Show George that cover, Justin. That it's like all like
All the
broken
different-
glass.
yeah.
It makes me think of Shattered Grid of the
Oh,
Power Rangers thing.
yes.
Yeah.
And then
We
there's
did
the
have that
Skeletor
cover. That was a fantastic
Come on,
cover.
December, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm on.
Shattered Power Rangers are still doing the
Necessary Evil.
Necessary Evil. I saw that.
Fight is so good today.
It's so good.
Today was
Well,
amazing.
well, Joe, tell us
Look at
about
this
it.
art though. This art is
It's
art,
cool.
This art, I mean, it's only black and white right now, but this art's pretty good.
Right.
I like the Masters of the Multiverse. So when there's a group of He-Mans, they call He-Men.
Oh, God, I knew you were gonna go there. I knew.
Jesus.
Kevin,
Yes.
you're not even married
Fine.
yet, and you're already doing dad jokes.
Yeah.
You're not even 30.
I'm
Yeah.
11 months in and I don't even do that joke.
No, Kevin will be 30 on the 27th of December. Let's all remember this.
Nice.
Wow. No.
27th of December?
Yeah.
I turned the 31st of December.
Nice.
Wait, you guys, for real?
Yeah.
Did you guys not know your birthdays were like 3 days
No,
apart?
I knew it.
4 days apart. Yeah.
And then-
I knew you were in December.
And then,
Just like that.
27th is a Friday.
Baby Luke is the same month.
No, it's in
No.
November.
November.
It's November.
Oh, it is November.
Yeah.
The 27th is a Friday, but there will be no podcast that week because Christmas is on the Wednesday.
Wonderful.
And Christmas Eve is on
Why not?
Tuesday.
Well, now our listeners know.
I'm sure there probably won't even be books coming out. They
No.
might come out early, actually.
They'll come out early.
Yeah, come on, early. Wow, Lance on
Yeah, I'm all
so,
in for this He-Man.
Yeah, the He-Man thing. Joe told me about it. I was like, I started reading about it. I'm totally down for this.
Same.
I don't know why. I'm already thinking of like other weird crossovers. Like, I wonder if there's like a He-Man who laughs.
No. It was a
So-
Skeletor who laughs.
Skeletor laughs. There you go.
That would be dope.
I mean, he already laughs, but yeah.
No, wouldn't it be? It would be a He-Man that has become Skeletor.
Right,
That's what it would be.
exactly.
That would be, the version. Oh, wow, that's kind of deep.
It would be like Skeletor, the most powerful man in the universe, because that's what He-Man is.
He's Skeletor.
Right.
He's Skeletor.
But then who would be his
He's
villain?
Well, who's Batman or last villain?
Right.
The Justice League?
No.
So Zodak?
No one. I mean, really, the Batman Who Laughs has no equal.
Right.
Well,
right now.
I would think. Okay, so if we're really going to run down this, if we're really going to think about it, it would be
The
a
Master
He-Man. It
Universe.
would be Prince Adam that became He-Man that somehow became Skeletor.
Yes.
So he would lose the power of Grayskull, but he would become Skeletor. So somebody else would have to take up the mantle of He-Man to have to pick up the sword and become the new champion
like,
of Grayskull.
a
So
bit
who would be the new champion of Grayskull? Like Man at Arms, or would they go? They can't call She-Ra. She's in another universe.
Tifa? No.
Tila would be interesting, but I don't think, and Zodak, I don't think would do it.
A
I think
legitimate
the
child.
I think the most interesting character would probably be like Man at Arms.
No.
Yeah,
Man, I was
because he's the most
He-Man.
known,
Yeah.
Correct.
and you could play
Or
up the whole angle
Randor.
that, or
Rand,
Randor,
because he was
You
a
could-
warrior.
you could
right?
play up the whole that they're older, so
Correct.
the Skeletor's younger, so he's more viable in a fight than.
Yeah. I
I hope this is something cool. like I hope this is a part of
You
the
guys gotta
multiverse.
write it.
Listen, if you
Right.
like Conan, this is way better than Conan.
Well, this feeds a. This is like Conan,
Fantasy.
but yeah, this feeds that fantasy,
Science.
but it's Conan. But if Conan had like futuristic technology.
Right.
Because they all have flying machines and they all
Right.
have.
less barbarian, more dystopian.
Well, no, I
Right.
mean it's got like a barbarian feel to it, but less I'm stupid and more just the strength.
Remember her?
Oh, so like a boomer.
Star Wars meets Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
Or Star Wars meets Conan, really.
Right.
Yeah. So
'Cause I'm liking Conan for its barbaricness.
You've been on Conan both books
Yeah.
for
Yeah.
a very long time,
three
Kevin.
now.
Congrats, bro.
Wait, there's
I
three.
think you're the only
Yeah,
one.
there's three books?
Exodus was just a one shot.
Oh, okay.
No, there's another book. There's
You're blowing Kevin's mind right now, Justin.
It's
no, it's
only
a Conan book. I don't remember what
it's only
called.
Jason Aaron on Conan the Barbarian
And
and
then
Jerry
Jerry
Duggan
Duggan
on
doing
Savage Sword. of
Kevin
Conan.
is to Conan as Joe is to Ninja Turtles
Or Power Rangers or He-Man.
or Power
But
Rangers.
this fandom I've gotten of Conan is strictly brand new because of Marvel.
Yeah, it's only been the past year or so
Yeah.
that the book's been going on. And even then, you hopped on, I think, it wasn't the first issue. It was probably partway through, the beginning of it.
No, I tried both.
You tried both from
I
the
tried
get-go?
both, and I was like, I'm alright with this. I'm like, this is cool. And then now I'm like, I just want to keep getting more and more adventures with this barbarian, just hacking shit.
And, before we hop on to the big book of the week, we do have that, what was it? That book that's coming out in Kylo Ren book
Kind of number 1 in December.
in December, which I know you love your Vader stuff, Kevin.
I'm
So
I'm
that
in
cover
for
was
that.
that
You guys-
cover is so nice.
I'm gonna read it.
You gonna read it? Okay,
Yeah.
so
I mostly care because it explains a little bit
Right.
more of the Knights of Ren, and he's
Right.
fighting the Knights of Ren.
So what's the time frame of this? Do we know?
Him on the temple with
Well,
Luke.
Movie
They're-
wise. Oh, so this is the
Right, when he's
before
back.
Force
Yes,
He's
Awakens.
before.
back. He's bad.
This
He's
I
dead.
think you just mentioned this. I'm sorry if I'm repeating you. this book has already teased that it's Luke and Kylo Ren fighting
Fighting the Knights, so
fighting,
right.
yeah, fighting together.
No, yeah, he
He mentioned that.
Yeah.
He
Sorry.
mentioned it, but not completely. Like
Yeah.
yours makes more sense.
Yeah, well,
Wow.
it's him as Ben. He's not Kylo Ren
Right,
yet.
right.
So it's Ben,
he's
not
Ben,
Kylo.
Yeah, it's
Ben
Ben.
Solo.
But the book is called Kylo Ren.
Right.
Because it's probably his evolution into it. So it
Right.
ends with like Luke trying to stab him in his sleep.
Wow.
I hope it doesn't do a whole origin telling. I hope it's a story and we get flashbacks.
Right.
That'd be nice.
You gotta
Hey,
be
remember-
careful.
Didn't Vader do that?
Yes.
Yes.
The Charles Soule
Yeah.
one would flash back to him as Anakin.
Right.
Mhm.
Nice.
Speaking of which, there's actually a picture
Yeah.
today.
Yeah.
Did you see that?
Yeah.
Of Hayden
bunch of-
Christensen handing a lightsaber
In the
over to a
cantina.
kid, handing a lightsaber over to
That
a
was
kid,
so cool.
and then it flashes to the scene in Revenge of the Sith where he
Oh,
lights the
it's
lightsaber.
sick.
Well, he lights the lightsaber up with all the young
Yeah,
ones.
yeah, yeah.
I just
It's
need
just,
to
a
revenge.
it's just a smile on Hayden's face in the cantina. It's like, take it.
Honestly, it took me a second to realize it was him, just because he looks so different.
Yeah.
The man's aged,
Aged and stayed thin.
scrawny thing.
Yeah.
So,
Dude needs to work out a
Do you
little
want
bit.
me to do Power Rangers really fast?
Yes, this is Power Rangers that came out today, though.
okay.
No, because he's. Why aren't you reading it yet? I always bring it up and you.
I'm a crappy human being.
I want to read it
Shitful.
too, but it's true.
Justin is holding up my bottle of Knob Creek
Knob
whiskey
Creek.
bourbon. It is a 50 proof small batch barrel.
And this man has to drive home.
It's a short ride.
It's
Not
in
that
jail.
Not that short.
All right, Joe, get back to what
So,
you're
real quick. The bounty hunter beat the crap out of White Ranger.
The dog bounty hunter?
shit.
The dog bounty hunter.
Dog the bounty hunters?
Yeah, his wife died. He has other things.
Dog
Yeah.
bounty hunter.
So he's hunting down the pirates. Anyway,
Yeah, right? He blames the Power Rangers for the wife, his cancer's wife's cancer.
Right.
Oh my god, he's Dog the bounty hunter
He
who
thinks they're
laughs.
real. He's chasing
Oh,
down
stop.
people
There's
in
so many villains.
people in multicolored spandexes. He's just
Dog the
chasing
bounty
them.
hunter who laughs. There's our title right there.
Write it down, please.
There we are. I was thinking of Toker Johnson because
Okay.
Oh god.
He beats up Tommy. Then the other Rangers call the Zords because he gets big. He decimates the Zord, the Megazord, the new one, the Thunder Megazord.
Oh wow.
Decimates it, breaks open the cabin. He's about to like destroy them. In come the Omega Ranger Zords, right? Because Zord is like red button, red button. My
Special
Ranger's about
forces,
to die.
special forces.
My Ranger's about to die.
he's like, Rocky's not enough.
No, neither is Tommy. So the Omega Rangers wipe the floor with Bounty Hunter. He's yelling for Zed to help him. When remember on all these other issues, he's been back talking Zed like, "Get out of here, I'll do this." But no, he's like, "Zed, send buddies. I need help."
Send buddies.
Hello.
And Zed's like, "No,
Fuck you.
you didn't finish your mission." So the Omega Rangers wipe the floor with him. He escapes though, and then the Power Rangers are like, "Oh my god, a new group of Rangers." Remember, they don't know.
Right.
Oh my god, and they wipe the floor. This guy, he destroyed our Zord.
For new awesome Rangers. Cool. High
And
five,
then
guys.
like,
Three,
oh,
three.
they try
Three
to
or four?
shake
Four.
four.
Oh,
They try
four total.
so they extend their hands to them. They
Teleport out.
They teleport out, and they're like, "Okay, nice
Yeah,
meeting
because
you."
the thing is like they can't reveal their
They
identity.
can't even speak because they'll know them.
Right. So they're back on their ship now. They have this big, massive ship now.
Oh, so like
Yeah,
Power Rangers
yeah,
in space.
Right. They have their own ship.
Wait, the Omegas.
The Omegas.
And Trini's telling Jason, "Why didn't those were our friends? Why didn't?" He's like, "Remember, we cannot reveal our identity. It hurt me, but we can't let them know." who
Justin
we
being
are."
a boss.
Yeah,
What's
Mission.
the why? I can't remember the
They're
explanation.
special ops.
that, and then they have their own Zordon, where he was like an ancient ranger. He's the one
Again.
reporting to Zordon, but whatever. He told them, if anyone knows of your identity, your powers will go away. You'll lose your powers.
Which may or may
Okay.
not be true.
And
It's just a Deus Ex Machina to explain why in the show they never knew each other.
right.
Exactly.
So-
well, technically their cover is that they went to a peace summit. The three
Correct.
main Rangers.
Correct.
The fourth one is an alien who was affected by the morphine grid
Right.
that killed her whole family.
Correct.
Yeah, that Joe has explained.
And she's still grieving with that. She's like,
I
"Damn,
can imagine. I mean,
So
that's
the-
something you get over easily.
They're giving Jason shit like we should have helped. We should help them more. Let's go back because he's gonna go back after them. The Zords are destroyed. What does the Zordon want us to do? He's like, we don't answer the Zordon anymore technically, but we cannot help them. So they're mad at Jason. But Jason goes to their Zordon. So he goes into a secure room and he's telling him, he's like, "Oh, I'm sorry, you cannot help your friends. You cannot reveal who you are." You could go help them again, but there's other bad guys I need you to take care of. Jason's like, no, I'm ending this now. I'm taking the Zords. We're going to the moon. I'm going after Zed myself.
About damn time.
So they're like, no, don't do that. And then Zordon's giving the Rangers like some side story. Oh, we don't know who they are. They're ancient Rangers. I'll find out. While I'm finding out,
He's
here's
bullshitting
Tommy.
the Rangers?
And Tommy wiggles in like, hi, I'm sorry I couldn't help you, but I'm hurt. And then they all like, oh.
He's in a neck brace and a leg cast.
So they go, Zordon,
He got hurt from fighting putties.
what do we do? We have no Zords now. He's like, I'll fix your Zords, whatever.
Alpha, get to work at Mexican.
Right.
Uh,
But then Alpha snitches
Alpha's
him
a
out.
Mexican.
What? Because
Okay.
he has a hat? You're an asshole.
No.
It's not a Mexican hat.
Ay, come on.
Fucking George, man.
Dude, I'm telling you, the original
off my
Power
podcast.
Rangers were racist. They had the Yellow Ranger as an Asian, the Black Ranger as black. I mean, come on.
I can't argue that.
The 90s Power Rangers, I'm sorry. tad bit
Alpha
racist.
5 because Hispanics love to name their kids the same name as their father. So he's the 5th Alpha, like his other father and grandfather.
Before him. Yeah, and he said, ay.
Wait.
Tell me what language that's from.
Wasn't Alpha the space Power Rangers Alpha 6?
I think so.
He was.
Yes, they continued that. I'm telling
The
you.
lineage continues.
This is not me. This is something the 90s did.
Anyway.
I can't wait for Power Rangers like Taco Tuesday issue.
Hey, Kevin.
Watch, Alpha comes out. He's the one that made it.
I
He's
mean,
the one that makes the tacos.
I mean, he's brought out food for the Rangers before.
He has.
Oh,
He's
man.
essentially like the maid bot.
The juice bar's the front for a taco stand?
If Skynet
I mean, the
attacked,
90s was juice bar.
if Skynet's attacked, would Alpha join Skynet?
100%.
I guess.
Dude's a maid. Why
He
not?
has a relationship with Alexa right now. Alpha and Alexa and Terminator. They all have. It's a three-way between Alpha
I
and
got it.
Terminator.
T800, Alpha 5, and Alexa 1.
Alexa 1.
I'm done. I'm gonna go back to my drink.
Comic ends with Jason obliterating Zed's castle. With his-
What?
Yeah.
Yo, Jason going against orders.
Yeah, he went against.
Yo, that's it? Is Necessary Evil done?
No.
The castle's gone, but that doesn't mean they're done.
The Zords come in, and then the putties attack the other Omega Rangers, and he goes, "No, Zed, you're mine." Because Zed's like, "Oh, take care of these Rangers. He's sitting on his throne like I'm not doing shit. I
He's
don't
still on
care."
the throne chilling.
And Jason's like, "Come on," and he's like, "Okay." And then it ends with him and Jason like
About to fight.
about.
I love that Zed uses a staff of all weapons.
Right, he's having a staff, and Jason has a sword.
Yeah, a staff with letters Z on it. How ostentatious can you be?
For real.
At
I mean, the
first,
dude's naked with metal on
the
him.
bad guys are like, "Oh, what's that noise? It sounds like our castle's being destroyed." And then the Omega Zords are like standing there, and the castle just
Just
crumbles.
destroying it.
Yeah, like how Zed's fucking throne's just the only thing surviving.
That's funny.
But I love that we have a 4-person ranger group when
Oh, yeah,
usually
they're-
it's 5,
Right,
6,
or
or
6.
7. There's been a few that have gone
Yeah,
17.
right.
So I wonder if they're actually going to add to this team.
They talked about that. I don't think they will.
I would hope not. I like the
Right.
whole 4-person
Well, remember
team.
the rumor of like an Orange Ranger.
No,
So it might be on Mighty Morphin or it might be an Omega.
And that looked like a Beast Morpher Ranger.
Yeah, I think.
Because the style of the helmet and everything looked more like Beast Morphers.
Okay.
Or
So it'd be
something.
Mighty
I
Morphin.
don't even know what that is.
So,
Just a quick explanation. Beast Morphers is the new Power Rangers, the Super Sentai from Japan, that is emulating the Power Rangers style. Because we all know that Super Sentai created Power Rangers,
Correct. Yeah.
but they changed it up in the American version.
Right.
So Beast Morphers is paying homage to that.
that's funny.
Okay.
Yeah, it's art emulating reality TV. I don't know, whatever. Moving on.
So
That's the end of the book.
So now the big book
the big book of the week, which was Marauders #1, first issue of
That's awesome.
the new book,
by Jerry Duncan.
which was very good. I agree
Awesome.
with. I agree with Kevin. I did not think I was going to like this book, but it came out on me.
As soon as I heard about the pitch, supposedly it was Jerry Duncan's pitch to Hickman,
Mhm.
saying it goes, mutants, pirates. And Hickman was like, all right.
I was sold from that pitch,
Yeah,
to be
so,
honest.
so I heard the interview. I heard the hour-long interview with Hickman about how the fuck he came up with all this process of the X-Books and this and that, whatever. And then
Share this. I
and
wanna
Jerry
hear
Duncan,
this.
it's just an hour. I'll share the episode, right? But Jerry Duncan is one of the very, very few people who was in every single meeting of Hickman and Marvel editors.
So he's just sitting there taking notes the whole time?
So he says that's what he says that like of all the other X books, he goes Jerry Duncan's Marauders will possibly be the closest to Hickman's version or vision of what's moving forward because he was around in every meeting.
Well, this book starts off with the fact that Kitty Pryde cannot go through the gates of Krakoa.
Which I never mentioned this, but I did have a question to myself. She's a very big X-Men. Why was she never on the island? I kept thinking that. I was like, oh, they'll explain this. And then I knew that she was on the cover of Marauder, so I was like, oh, we'll get to it.
Well, the whole thing is that Krakoa will not let her through.
Yeah, and no one knows why.
And no one knows why. And it seems like nobody cares either.
Yeah.
Yeah, no one cares. Like, oh, okay, yeah, you'll be fine.
I think you know what
She
it is?
has to
I think it's because everyone's in the honeymoon stage of like, yeah, we got our own nation. It's
Even
gonna
Logan
great.
is like super happy hippie.
Yeah.
Well, she has to sail a boat to the island.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the
Which
first
is a-
voyage.
Yeah.
She's the first voyage to the island.
And
feels
when she
about-
gets there, and Logan's actually because when she gets there, Logan's more happy that she's there with the beer and the ribs
His
and
shop-
everything,
his shopping
the
list.
shopping list that he has to
And
see
his
her.
pomade.
Yeah.
We call it the pomade.
Yeah. So to me, I'm already like, what the fuck is going on? Because Kitty Pryde is a pretty central X-Men,
She is.
and now you've turned her into an outsider.
Yep.
And then she's also getting an offer from White
Emma.
Queen about the Red King role,
Right.
Yeah.
which at the end of the issue, spoilers, she accepts.
Right.
But she was the whole reason why she got that offer is because someone turned it down. Storm turned it down.
So Storm turned it down. You're right.
Right.
So she's now the Red King, and her whole thing is they're supposed to be liberating mutants that aren't allowed because there are Krakoa portals in certain countries that the countries are not allowing the mutants to go through.
Yeah, they're the ones that declined the sovereignty.
Yeah.
Russia being the first
the
one they
terms,
showed.
right? Remember, the terms was we'll give you the drugs, send us your mutants. Russia being one of them, and I believe
There were a few.
No, China, I think is one.
China's one.
No, China accepted because it wanted the drugs.
But there where Bishop was in this book. Bishop is in one.
Taipei, Singapore.
Singapore, yes. So places like that did not accept the mutants' terms of the drugs are not allowing the mutants to leave.
Yeah.
Even though there are gateways. So
Well,
they are
Russia-
literally guarding those gateways.
And Russia specifically won't allow the mutants to leave because they use them for their workforce.
Yeah,
Right.
they're
They serve the country.
automatically enlisted into the country.
Yeah.
But hopping back to Taipei, because I think this is going to be an interesting point, because it took something for a few panels, a few pages. Bishop's there, and a lady spouting that my husband touched a portal and he disappeared. And Bishop's there like,
No,
hey.
she said the mutants kidnapped him.
No. She said that he touched it and he was gone. And then she makes it seem like the mutants kidnapped him.
Right.
But Bishop's like, we have no record of him, but I want to investigate. And his face is all shadowed until he lifts up his hat and you see the big M on his face. And it's like, oh, it's Bishop.
Yeah.
And she's like, I don't want to speak to you. I'm not going to speak to you. And the crowd turns against him. And it's like, Xavier, I'm stepping out for now right now. Why you send Bishop into a predominantly Asian community? Probably the best idea. to
Why
be
do you
honest.
send Bishop anywhere? I think Bishop is a very
He has no tact.
He's a very overrated character.
What? He was
I
a big character for a
I
while.
think he's
Yeah, but
he's
I
the
think he's
lone
overrated.
wolf. He's a lone wolf soldier, so you send him on lone wolf missions.
You really can't make him a part of a group. It's tough. It's tough to make Bishop a part of a group.
Yeah, right, that's what I'm saying. Like, this is a one time, hey, go see what the fuck is going on over there in Singapore.
But
that's it.
Looking at which I love that it's not Hickman, but the inserts are like Hickman.
Yeah. Again, Jerry Duggan was in all the meetings, so he's possibly like spiritually carrying on that same essence.
And I love it. Bishop's a part of the Marauders crew.
Yeah. Well, this team that is basically the Pirates of the X-Men are
I
they're
love that.
charged. They're charged with going to these areas where they're not allowed
Right.
mutants to Krakoa
Exactly.
and liberating them so that they can go through the portal. And the whole idea is that they can't go through the portal because Kitty can't go through the portal, but she sails to these different areas on a boat that Emma's provided for, a brand new boat. And this team is made up of Kitty, Lockheed, Storm's only staying because of Kitty.
Right.
Nightcrawler, Iceman, Wolverine, because Wolverine's got to be on every team.
Freaking everything.
Well, and
Emma Frost.
him and Kitty have a relationship.
Yeah, but
Yeah. Well, so does Storm and Kitty. That's what
Yeah.
she stayed.
Yeah, exactly.
Emma Frost, Bishop, and Pyro. And Pyro's the one that's like, oh, okay.
The
original
Yeah.
Aussie Pyro.
Well, because he died because of the
Genosha.
legacy. No,
That's
No,
what
it
he
was in
said.
it
Genosha.
was
Yeah.
in Genosha.
Yeah, the
No, I could
massacre.
have sworn it was
The legacy virus
Right.
killed him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought it was that.
I could've
He
sworn he
doesn't
said-
specify. He
Yes,
said
he-
I was dead,
It's been
and
a
then I was
while.
alive.
No, he
Wow.
said I was one of the first to be
Be
brought
brought
back.
Do we know that the first to be brought back were because of the legacy virus? Yeah, I think that happened.
I thought it would have been the Genosha massacre.
Well, Legacy
They did it
Virus
in
was
order.
before Genosha.
They did it in order.
Okay, so they're going in chronological order.
Yeah.
Because the Legacy Virus was the whole thing where they lose their power, they lose
Right.
their ability to control their powers, and they
Right.
die.
And then, yeah.
Because Moira, in the books, Moira was the first human to get it because it was only a mutant disease.
How do we feel about them showing off in Kate, not Kitty? She has to be called
Yeah.
Kate now.
Well, she is older now, and then she's supposed to be married
She's
to
a woman.
Colossus. Where the
She-
fuck is Colossus?
Well, there's
Like,
that,
we'll
and
tell you
she
that.
was also the head of. She's been the head master of
Uh,
Wolverine
the
School
Xavier
for a
right.
long time.
Oh, the Wolverine school, yeah, not even
Yeah.
the X school anymore. But
Well,
It was the Jean Grey
School.
The Jean
yeah,
Grey, right.
it's had a lot of name changes. But yeah, I mean, her powers of like Emma's like, hey, step into my office, and she's there across the planet.
No, Emma's very powerful son.
Yeah, it's showing off her powers. They also mentioned the fact the Russians mentioned that Iceman's an Omega.
Yeah.
So a lot of little you can tell that this author was definitely in those meetings with Hickman.
I'm
when
not
you're
for
sitting
that. Iceman should not be an Omega.
What? No, Iceman's definitely an Omega.
I mean,
his
an
powers don't have an upper limit.
an elemental.
So then why isn't Pyro?
like he's not like
Well,
no,
Pyro can't make the fire.
Exactly.
Well,
That's
Pyro-
the difference. Power can only manipulate fire.
Which they touch
Bobby,
on.
Bobby can literally create an element.
Remember, Pyro's like, hey, can someone give me a light?
Mm-hmm.
And
Right.
that's when
Well,
Lockheed
he's got the
makes the dragon
he's got the
fire.
flamethrower on his back. He's always
Right.
got the flamethrower on his back.
But he asks, I need a light.
Yeah.
He does at one point.
I
Which
love
is
how
weird because he has a flamethrower.
I love on the book how Loki keeps bringing back shit that he like half ate to
Like a
Kitty.
cat.
Yeah.
Like a cat, 100%.
And it's like I think one is like it's a seagull.
a seagull wing on the way to Krakoa, going to Russia. I think there's like a part of a crab.
Yeah, part of a crab. But then on the boat leaving Krakoa, there's fingers,
yeah,
like
Yes.
human
Yeah.
fingers.
No, leaving Russia
right.
Oh, leaving
Yeah,
Russia.
because they had just defeated all of them, and Lockheed's like,
Yeah, so,
I'm
and
gonna
then
eat.
again, I just love what the tidbits I could find on Twitter, especially in comic Twitter. Jerry Duncan is like, the law says harm. What is it?
harm no human, unless
Well, I guess he says like, I guess he specifies it more of in the sense of like, kill no man or kill no human. He goes, but nothing says like you can't fuck one up. Well, Jerry Duncan said that, and I was like, that's fucking funny.
Kate literally puts a rifle in
Yeah.
between the
Two-
thighs
yeah.
of two different
Dude,
Russians.
how do you remove
Yeah.
that?
You lose a leg.
Surgery.
You
Dude,
lose a
pull the
fucking
trigger.
leg.
Yeah,
Dude, that-
one's not making it.
Dude, that is insane. The way Kate fights is incredible.
It is.
Going through people, and
The
I love how
tank,
like
she
she
went through the
treats it
tank.
like if it was on nothing. The tank, oh my
She
god.
pulled the grenades and she's like, bye.
Yo, she was ruthless, to be
No,
honest.
she
It
was.
was to show you that this isn't Kitty, this is Kate.
But what really legitimately was scary was that soldier that Russia had that had like that armor and like gun that like literally
Depowered?
depowered
Mhm,
people,
yeah.
mutants. That was
It
crazy.
was only temporary though.
I love that he was spouting the nonsense of like, yeah, you guys are nothing without your powers, and Kitty's like, you're nothing without your suit.
Yeah,
And she just wrecks him. Literally one panel, I was like, oh, okay,
it was cool.
Done.
So this was a great book.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it. I look
Same.
forward to the next issue. I it gives me
Hickman
hope.
flat out said he goes, "This is the one that he's most excited of it continuing."
I'm actually excited for some of these books. Now I know some of these books I'm not gonna dig, but
Mhm.
it gives me
Anybody gonna
hope.
read Excalibur?
Yep, I'm reading Excalibur.
I'm okay.
Well,
That's the
tomorrow.
one that we all know. It's about mutantdom discovering or furthering magic, and we all know
Mutant
how I feel
magic.
about magic. Right, mutant magic.
But I dig the idea that in this book,
Apocalypse is ahead. He's ahead of this group or team.
Yeah, but
Of course.
also you've got Psylocke. Well, the original version of Psylocke, not the Quantum. Yeah, the
Again,
Psylocke.
all original mutants are back.
Yeah, this version of Psylocke becoming the new Captain Britain. So that's got me intrigued. So I want to know what's going on there.
I find that weird. It's just like it's the Psylocke that's not Betty, but becoming.
No, it's Betty, but it's not. It's not the Asian fusion. It's the
Remember, yeah,
version
she
before.
fused.
It's not. It's the version before she went to the Siege Perilous.
Okay, so it's un-Asian Betty,
Yeah,
non-Asian Betty.
well, because there was Betty Braddock, and then there was Quantum, and then they both went to the Siege Perilous and they were merged.
Right.
And that's how you get the Psylocke that everyone knows of.
Yeah, with the sonic knife and everything. Like, yeah.
Yeah, that's the Psylocke everyone knows.
So we're excited for the next book.
Yep.
But in the interest of time, we're an hour and 15 in. We got to move on, and we got a lot of TV stuff to talk about because there's a lot of TV shit happening.
True.
The first thing I want to mention is breaking news yesterday. HBO, which they, in their infinite wisdom, they led with this, and then they told us the better part later. If HBO has canceled they basically just shit canned the show that even had a pilot. And
They filmed it.
They filmed the pilot for the long night version of Game of Thrones
Spin-off. Yeah.
Dude, and it was starring Naomi Watts. So they had like
She was excited. They had a lot of big names on it. Not just Naomi Watts.
But that's what they led with yesterday, was that they just flat out told, they passed on it. It's not, and then people were speculating until they announced the news later that, HBO might be done with Game of Thrones.
Honestly, that's what I felt.
I thought they were.
Game of Thrones has a stigma on
they
it right
had
now.
such a backlash from the last season that they were just like, let's just distance ourselves and we'll move on.
And I got sad, man. I got sad because I know I'm the Magic hater, so I didn't care much about this series.
But you still wanted more Game of Thrones.
I wanted more Game of Thrones because the world is incredible.
Yeah.
So I wanted more. I wanted to revisit it more.
See,
and I wanted, because I knew if this did good, we would eventually get the one I wanted.
Yeah. Now, the one we are getting, let's mention that first, is they are going to do, it's called House of the Dragon, and it's supposed to deal with the fall of the House of Targaryen.
No.
No.
The creation.
Well, no, both. It's supposed to go through the entire
because the
story.
house falls in that other place and then regrows in the new area.
No, because they were a minor house in...
Right.
They were a minor house in...
They were farmers. They were farmers in
oh, God.
Valeria.
Valeria. Thank you, yeah.
They were farmers in Valeria?
Yeah, they weren't...
With dragons?
They weren't a major house in Valeria.
Yeah, it's
So
only
everyone had dragons in Valeria?
So to tell you that story is a daughter of the lead farmer of that family there. She was she had the green sight. She could see the future. She saw the doom happen before they left. Before it happened.
Yeah.
Thus
So they go to Dragonstone.
and they landed on Dragonstone, just the coast of Westeros. Along that coastal of Westeros, they never ventured inward because there was all these crazy factions of kingdoms having conflicts, and they were outsiders. They were what was this world's version of Anglo-Saxon? Andals. They were Andals.
Yeah.
Not yet. Actually, no. The Andals had already landed on Westeros.
Yeah.
That's right, because there was already houses established. Right.
Yeah.
But still, they were foreign.
Yeah, they were foreign. They had purple eyes.
Right, they're speaking that and speaking Valerian or whatever.
Yeah.
So they just stayed on the coast until this story. This story, which is
because
300
where
years
they-
prior to Game of Thrones.
Because where they make their landing on Westeros, that's where they build the Red Keep and everything. That's what
I feel that saying it's the fall of the Targaryen is kind of odd.
because but it's supposed to deal with them coming to power, and it's ultimately
In
supposed
Westeros.
in Westeros, but it's supposed to ultimately end with them dying out.
Oh, so it's Aegon's conquest till his fall, till the Targaryens.
Well, not only
fall?
his fault, it would be all Targaryens.
Yeah, with all Targaryens, which is what happened right before Dany was born.
So that's good if they're setting this up as like, okay, this series will be the lineage of 300 years of storytelling to play with. That's awesome.
Yeah.
So 10 episodes for that does not make sense.
No, I'm convinced the first season, the first 10 episodes is just Aegon's conquest.
Oh
Yeah, because Aegon's conquest, I know
It's
very
short.
big.
There's
It's
no
deep.
way that could be stretched out for more than a season.
Yeah.
Maybe two. If you really
Get
flesh
in
out the other houses that he conquered, the Gardener, which essentially is wiped out, which is the one in Highgarden before Tyrell's.
Mm-hmm.
Tyrell's get it from Aegon for not going against him in the conquest.
Yeah, and then you also have things like Aegon's stepbrother.
The original Starks, original Lannisters.
Yeah, you have a lot of things that build up the kingdom that we know of the Game of Thrones world.
Yeah.
The ruthlessness of the Martells.
Yeah,
What I wanted to get back to is as much as this is what Kevin wanted was this show.
Yeah.
I'm with Kevin.
You wanted this show too.
100%.
I wanted this show too. Don't get me wrong. I wanted the other show a little bit more, and the reason why is because I actually like the mystic history of Westeros. I'd like to know more about. I would have liked to have seen the building of the wall. I would have liked to have seen like the children of the forest and how they were subjugated and then ultimately created the what. Because I'm going to tell you right now, what sold me on the show. I had watching the first episode of Game of Thrones. I had no idea what I was getting into.
Yeah.
I just knew that the show was coming out. I had never heard of it. Never knew anything about the books, nothing. What sold me on this show was the very first episode when you first see the White Walkers in the first 5 minutes.
Mhm.
And I said, what the fuck is that? I want to stay with this show. I want to know more.
And they never tell you more.
And they don't. But ultimately, that led me to watch the show for longer and get into everything else. But I still held on to what the fuck is that? I want to know more. So I'm bummed because we're not going to get that story now.
Not right now.
But there might be something later.
Right. If this gives us a resurgence of Game of Thrones interest,
Mhm.
maybe they'll do
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, 100%.
And I do like because now after the cancellation of the Long Night spin-off one, not this one that we're talking about, the Long Night one with Naomi Watts, the showrunner who was also
attached to it.
damn man, I forgot her name. She's done other TV shows. There was a female showrunner, lead writer. That they were going to explore the Long Night, the Age of Heroes prophecy. It was interpreted in various cultures throughout this world,
Yeah.
not just in Westeros, but also in Essos. And we would have seen their version of it too.
Oh, wow.
And it's like cool. So we would have gotten an even more diverse cast of different different colored faces, not just a bunch of English white people. But then now with this greenlighting of the House of the Dragon with Valerians, is essentially just English white people.
Even
Yeah.
when the Long Night was announced and said, or from the pilot and everything was coming out, I'm a part of the Free Folk Reddit, which is the Game of Thrones Reddit, and they were all saying, "No, give us Aegon's Conquest."
Yeah, and I'm with that.
After Game of Thrones, a lot of people wanted that. I'm the late adopter. Before season 3, I watched season 1 and 2 with an ex. She got me into it, and that's where I started
Nice.
my Game of Thrones adventure. So I already had an
At
idea.
least you got into it with or before the Red Wedding.
Yes, it was before the Red Wedding, which was, I mean, you watch this show and everyone dies off. It's really emotional, but you keep going. And with the Long Night, I felt they kept mentioning the Night King. We're going to establish how he started, this and that. And as a high fantasy nerd, I'm all down for the high fantasy.
Yeah, you're about the lore.
But about a Game of Thrones fan, and after season 8, I wanted to push away from the Night King and the Wall and everything that happened there. And I was like, give me Aegon's Conquest. Let me have a palate rinser, and then maybe we can come back to it.
No, I mean, like I said, as long as we're getting something,
Yeah.
I'm down for it.
I love something like that.
And at least they're doing something that's interesting. They're not doing something like the history of the Maesters. Or
And I love the slogan for it. Like the catchphrase for it is "Fire will rain." That's amazing. And it's not rain like rain down. It's rain like a king's rain.
yeah.
Oh my
Look at
god.
Targaryen's reign
That
for a
to me
long
is
time.
so awesome.
Yeah.
Now my worry, because I became more familiar with Aegon's Conquest through like YouTube videos and audio retellings of the Fire and Blood book that George R. R. Martin did, and his co-writer, damn it, bro, I don't remember the name. The co-writer is the showrunner for this, along with Miguel Sapochnik.
The one who did Battle of the Bastards.
Dude, he's on every good, great, battle-heavy episode.
He did 2 episodes in season 8 that were separated because they wanted him to do 2 episodes in season 8.
And he did the Sept episode, the blowing up of the Sept.
That was another great episode. That man knows what he's doing.
Yeah.
But he's very busy. And is he credited as one of the showrunners? Or
He will be co-showrunner, co-lead writer with the guy who co-wrote with George R. R. Martin the Blood and Fire book. I can't remember his name. He will be the lead showrunner. But Miguel Sapochnik will direct the first episode, set the tone for the rest of the series, which is incredible. And my worry, which is what I was trying to get to, this is gonna cost a lot of money, Justin. I know you're not that familiar with the Aegon's Conquest, but it's in the name. It's conquest. It's gonna be a battle after battle and dragons.
Do you really think they're not?
HBO's throwing money at it, man.
I mean, look how much money they threw at fucking Game of Thrones.
Season 8 costs like, an Avengers movie a piece. Every episode.
But right, you're talking about season 8 when it was already a part of the cultural zeitgeist.
But this is also part of it. Game of Thrones already has a bred base of people who
We didn't get our first battle until I think the ending of season 2. In Game of Thrones, everything else was all fights and politics, right? Even the first battle that we were supposed to witness, Tyrion gets knocked out and then it skips.
Yeah, you're the beginning of
right.
that
So
battle.
the only final legit big scale battle we finally see is in season 2. I believe it's the sacking of King's Landing, but the failure attempt of Stannis sacking King's Landing, and he fails because then Tywin comes and saves the day with the Tyrells.
You just reminded me that season 1 is all political intrigue.
Yeah,
and no action whatsoever.
it's all character.
Why did I stick with this show?
Yeah.
I mean, don't get me
You
wrong.
got in at peak time. I got in. Season 1 had ended, and season 2 was about to start or had just started. So in my mind, that's why to me the Red Wedding was so much more emotional for me. Is I literally with season 2, I fell in love with that week to week watch of watching Robb Stark.
Robb Stark was the man.
He was to me amazing. He
But
was
that's when
incredible.
they set the tone of if they focus on this character too much, he's dead.
So what was the name? Ryan Condal. Yes,
The co-writer.
co-writer of Fire and Blood with George R. R. Martin. So he
And
will be
showrunner.
showrunner of this spin-off series, House of the
So
Dragon.
he knows the universe. He knows what he's doing. He has a great
He
co-showrunner.
He built the lore. So
Exactly. So, I have high hopes for this. HBO is going to be throwing money at it like they're Disney.
I think the way to do it, unfortunately, is stretch it to 2 seasons.
Yeah.
Because you can't have a battle every episode. That financially does not make sense.
I mean, you say that. I mean, but 10 episodes is short. Even if it was every episode, 10 episodes is still too short.
Here's
Which
my
makes
concern.
it expensive. It's gonna blow up in budget.
Here's my concern. One of the main things that really kept Game of Thrones people interested in Game of Thrones,
Were the characters.
yeah, but specifically Tyrion, and
He was the most
we
popular
don't
character.
we don't have a Peter Dinklage on this show,
We don't know yet.
but I'm just saying Peter Dinklage was kind of one of the reasons why people tuned in every week.
That's actually okay. That's actually a good point. Who should be a focal point in this? Should you treat Aegon conquering as a savior, or like how Daenerys was shown or perceived
end.
at the end as
Ruthless.
a conqueror?
No, you have to show him as a savior.
Because remember, history is written by the victors.
You should
He
show
wins,
him-
so he is praised as unifying the 7 kingdoms.
You should show him as a savior because that makes the fall that much more brutal. Because eventually, when you get to who was the one that burned everybody?
Ares.
Ares.
He's the second or fourth.
The Mad King.
The Mad King. When you finally get to the Mad King and you see how far that lineage is gone, and plus you also
Dude,
get to see
300
it.
years of inbreeding.
So you also get the fall of the dragons because you have the big dragon, which was said to be the biggest ever, all the way
Valerian
down
the
to
Dread.
all the way down to when they were born. They're just size of chickens, and the abandonment of the dragon pits.
So then you also have Ben Stark, who potentially might have made the Mad King mad. So he might not have.
Well, you have these Starks too, so you'll have these characters. And,
But then again, was it Stark or Baratheon who was the stepbrother or Aegon?
Bro, I cannot wait for that to be exploded. I was just gonna end it with that. I
one is it?
cannot wait for
Which
that.
one is it though?
It's Baratheon.
And so
Baratheon is an illegitimate bastard of Targaryens,
Mm.
and then they are the ones granted the Stormlands
Aegon's
for winning
Best
the
friend.
first battle.
Aegon's best friend becomes the first Baratheon,
Or
which is
brother.
his stepbrother.
It's
It's his brother, but it's also his best friend. 'Cause
Yeah.
you can be a brother and not be a best friend. Trust me, I have brothers.
Oren.
So
I think it's Oren.
Where-
Oren Baratheon.
one last thing too is you also get you'll eventually probably get to see the
That could be the Peter Dinklage.
And that's what
If you get a really charismatic actor to be that Baratheon and make us fall in love with him and perceive Aegon and the 2 sister wives through his eyes, that I think that's the POV that
you
that
just
should-
reminded me that I wanted to say that because I've been drinking, so I didn't recall it.
Yeah.
But I definitely wanted to say that stepbrother Baratheon, future leader of the Baratheon family, might be our Peter Dinklage.
Yeah.
And he's going to have a different point of view from everything because he loves his brother and he'll follow what he says. But at the same time, he's an outsider. He's not a Targaryen.
Right. That's
He has
why.
black hair.
Right, that's why he's not given a really big kingdom.
Well,
He wins the first battle, but he's given one of the smaller ones that is not really
Okay.
prosperous.
he grows it.
okay, so
We're being-
we're all
we're
excited
good.
for the show.
Yeah.
Fuck it.
Okay, so we're excited for the show to come. More TV news. We got more TV news coming. I'm excited for this because at first I didn't think it was true, but the CW is actually developing a Superman series for CW. Whether or not we actually get it is up in the air right now, but it's supposed to star Tyler Hoechlin and Bitsy, whatever her last name is, the Lois and Superman from
the
Supergirl.
CW crossover
Yeah.
episodes.
So they're supposed to be developing this show for them. Not much is known about what's going to happen, but I would hope that it's going to feature.
What the fuck?
I would hope that it's going to feature John Cryer's Lex Luthor,
Okay.
and you have Superman, you have Lois, and then obviously more villains for that nature, and then maybe we will eventually get a dark side of some kind.
I'm excited because at least they're pulling the trigger on Superman.
Yeah,
Unlike
finally.
the fucking
Unlike Warner Brothers movies.
I love how Darkseid has come up in different things, but it hasn't actually come out yet.
Yeah,
Like he was in Krypton. He was
I'm
mentioned
telling
in Krypton.
Mark my words, the new Gods is not coming out. They're
Really,
not
New
making-
Gods is not.
They're not making that movie.
But they have so many people
I
attached
do
to it.
not care.
Okay.
It is not coming.
We'll see.
we'll see.
I'm telling
But-
you,
So-
it's not coming.
To your point, I don't think it's gonna be very villain heavy if it gets done, Justin, the Superman and Lois thing, because again, Twitter is like the information gateway now. The premise or the one I read of rumored premises, it's about just them in their daily lives raising John.
Oh,
That's still cool because
Because-
we've never seen John
Right, we've never seen John Kent.
on the
And
screen.
where we
You know-
left off in the last crossover event, Lois was pregnant.
Mm-hmm. Well, the only thing I'll say to that is that the original first season of Lois and Clark was a completely different show from the seasons that came after it. The original first season of Lois and Clark was supposed to just deal with Lois and Clark.
Right.
Superman was just supposed to be like oh he's Superman, but he really wasn't supposed to be Superman on the show. Yeah, it was supposed to just be Lois and Clark. And then somebody came along and said more people care about Superman than Clark, so put Superman in the show more.
Yeah, make it
So
Superman.
I can see this show, similar thing happening on the show, saying,
Well,
well,
they're
let's focus more on Superman. So yeah, we're getting there. Okay, calm down. Believe me, that's what I want to talk about too.
why did you put that thing on earlier?
Because it's funny if I do it now. So for everyone who doesn't know, I am currently wearing a beanie that has a Green Lantern mask on it, completely over my face.
It's a
Yeah.
beanie mask.
It's a beanie mask of Green Lantern.
Okay, because HBO Warner's had their meeting yesterday, their Warner's Media Day, and they announced the lineup for HBO Max, which is coming out. And in addition to things like them having exclusive rights to Rick and Morty,
Studio Ghibli.
Studio Ghibli, stuff like
Toonami.
that, they are going to have a Green Lantern core TV show, which immediately is like what a live action Green Lantern core TV show.
So it's core, not
It's
just
core.
Okay.
We
It
don't
says
know.
core.
We don't know if it's Hal. If
All
it's
right.
probably going to be John because they've already done Hal and whatever. So and we don't know who's going to be the focus, but the idea is that we will get a show featuring the Green Lanterns, and they've already said it is going to be, and it's in the Berlanti-verse because Berlanti is the one doing it,
Right.
and they've already said that it's going to be really, really expensive because this is the Berlanti-verse going into space and doing shit in space.
What if it's
Might
Grant
be.
Gardner?
Huh?
Yeah, it could be
What
Gardner.
if it's Gardner?
Please.
I
no.
don't want it, but
I don't want Guy.
I like
Look,
that.
I don't want
I like
Guy. I don't
Guy.
want Kyle.
No, Guy
Has to be
and
Hal.
Kyle both
Has
have
to be
the
Hal.
deepest story and emotional attachment to them. Guy being an angry cop, and Kyle being a rundown artist.
Well, Guy's more of just an angry person, not just.
Well, I mean, but he's a cop, so you get that
they're all cops.
that Boston cop. No, Hal wasn't a cop. Kyle
Well,
wasn't
they're
a
space
cop.
cops.
I mean, yes. Once you become a Green Lantern, you're a space cop.
I would tend to think it's probably going to focus more on John because
I think
No, a
Hal would
lot
be
of people-
parallax, or maybe
Maybe.
imprisoned by the Guardians.
I
of
would
Ordo.
I would think that if Hal's going to be on it, he's probably going to be in a supporting role, if
Yeah.
anything, because a lot of
Supporting
you got to
leads
remember
of
a
it.
lot of kids grew up with John being their Green Lantern,
Right.
so I would think they would focus more on that. And I'm okay with that. That's fine with me. I actually have been loving the idea that they've been teasing John Diggle on Arrow as Green Lantern.
Yeah.
So I think that's actually been something
I feel like that's finally going to happen in this crossover event.
you need to take that off.
you look like a really bad lucha libre.
All right, I'm taking it off.
Oh,
Take it
thank
off. Take it off.
So
No one can look at me in the eye.
Thank you, Justin.
we
Who do we want
for what?
for anybody
For lead?
Green Lantern?
How?
Anyone?
How?
Oh my God, actor-wise.
Actor.
Oh, I don't care who the actor is.
Our boy Jim.
I really want Jim Caviezel as Hal Jordan so bad, or
You want Jesus as Hal Jordan?
God damn it, Krasinski.
Thank you.
Kaczynski, not Caviezel.
I'm sorry, I've been following that meme too much of people confusing their names.
Okay, so John Krasinski. So you
John
want
Krasinski.
Jack Ryan,
Jack
Jim from
Ryan,
The Office.
and Green Lantern.
Yeah.
I think
And
it would
then
be decent.
me and Joe's boy from the Schmodown, Mike Kalinowski, has been campaigning to be Hal Jordan because he looks like the spitting fucking image of Hal Jordan.
The guy from Monsters Inc.
Right.
You don't get the joke.
Yeah, you're thinking Mike Wazowski.
Yeah.
Yeah, Kalinowski, Wazowski.
And then,
The
and
people
then
It's not funny when you have to explain it.
I would absolutely love Sterling K. Brown as Jon Stewart.
I can take that.
A dude that's been in TV and in movies, great, phenomenal dramatic actor.
Mm-hmm.
And I would totally take him as believable as Jon Stewart Green Lantern.
Yeah. Stoic, serious face, military type.
That, to me, the way he acts, I'm like, that's Jon Stewart.
Yeah, if he turns it up a notch, 100% Jon Stewart.
Did you see him in Predator stuff?
No.
Did you see the Predator?
I did not, but I read shit.
Oh my god. Take all that shit you just said about Sterling K. Brown and throw it out the window.
Cool,
Because
good.
he's a completely different character in the
Good.
Predator.
That means he's a great actor.
Yeah. No,
Yeah,
he was one of the best parts of that movie.
Good.
To me. He was one of the best parts of that movie. I just saying, all that shit you just said, if you watch him in The Predator, you wouldn't say that.
Yeah, hey, a good actor can switch around.
So I'm excited for this. I'm a huge Green Lantern fan. With the announcement of this, upon reading it, I was like, "This is not true." And then everybody was pouring it. Oh, it is true. So
I started following the HBO Max Twitter just because they keep announcing stuff, and I'm just like, I gotta keep up with this. They're gonna have new anime on it every quarter, curated by Crunchyroll, which is a big anime deal.
That was weird.
I mean, that's a smart way to do it. Crunchyroll is the.
but did you catch the price too?
$15, $14.99.
And
Dude, the
if
same
you
price as HBO now,
Yeah.
but you're getting more content.
And if you subscribe to HBO through AT&T, you get it for free.
And
Yep.
if you have HBO now, you get it for free.
Yep.
Yeah. I honestly feel that they should go ahead and do away with HBO Now and HBO Go. You just have HBO Max Plus, mainly because it sounds funny, and second because you can just add the streaming of HBO to it.
What would be the plus?
The streaming, HBO Max regular, the content like a day later or whatever, and then HBO Max Plus, you have the streaming live
Live
streaming.
Oh, so you see like HBO Live.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is HBO
And this
Now
is-
or HBO Go.
And this version is not going to be ad supported. They said they're not going to launch an ad support for another 2 years.
Yes,
Thank God.
I hate
Well,
it.
I'm happy for that. I'm
No,
just saying, usually
no.
this shit gets ad supported right away.
No,
Yeah, within 3 months.
all I care about since I bought this new fucking TV, I cannot stand how beautiful HBO shows and movies are, but they're not in 4K.
Oh, will they do it in 4K?
Right,
think they
that's what I
announced
want. Because Disney, for $7, all Disney Plus originals will be in 4K.
Well, yeah,
And Star Wars and Marvel movies will be streamed in 4K for $7.
Yeah.
So if I'm about to pay twice as much as that for HBO Max, I better damn get 4K.
100%.
That ain't-
Watchmen in 4K sounds absolutely
Dude, Watchmen in
fantastic.
4K would be Green Lantern in 4K.
Everything in 4K. Wait, didn't they say they're going to do another DC show for HBO?
Stranger Adventures. Strange Adventures.
Strange
damn.
Adventures.
Which deals with...
Adam Strange.
Exactly.
But their call sheet for it said that it would be an anthology.
Yeah.
Well, he has a lot of stories to go around.
But supposedly like jumping around characters as well. So not all Adam Strange.
I'm not okay with that.
To me, I'm like, that should be the common thread. It should be Adam Strange in
Well,
all of it at least.
well, look at it this way. Adam Strange does interact with a lot of people. What if it's their life just before, just after, just during, when he interacts with them? So Adam Strange has a cameo in every episode, but it's not always Adam Strange focused. It could do well. I'm not a fan of anthologies. I'll check it out. I'll give it a shot, but you never know.
I don't know. I like the idea of a different story every season. I don't mind anthology that way.
Season
But
anthology.
episodic anthology, I'm not a fan of that either.
I got to give it a try. You know, I'm not going to put all my chips down on the table, yes or no, for the show. Joe, how do you feel? I know you're a fan.
He's just mad because it's Warner Brothers still. He's just like, bro, we're
Whoa.
just going to give them more money?
But it's
I'm
different
down for the
people.
Lanterns, but not for Strange.
You can at least give it a shot. Episode 1.
Which one?
The Stranger Adventure.
No.
Not even episode 1.
Well, but you have to be hyped for HBO Max because we're getting all
No, I'm down for the
every
connection,
DC movie.
No,
We're getting
HBO
every
Max
DC
is-
movie.
Why do I
is a
want
big
to see
deal.
every
Just be careful though, because
Come on,
remember the
Kevin,
Screen
you're not
Lantern,
tough.
the Screen Lantern show is Berlanti, so it is part of the CW Berlanti verse.
No,
So-
because even
No,
the
no,
DC Universe stuff is Berlanti, but it's separate.
But-
You can still combine it.
True.
I don't know
You
how
gotta-
the fuck you're gonna
gotta
combine the,
I
the
forgot
tone
about
of Titans
I did
with
watch-
Arrow and Flash.
I won't lie. I'm afraid that the the Green Lantern Corps is going to be a bunch of pretty boys, HBO version with R rating and stuff like that. But I wouldn't.
That's
take a
not
shot.
fine.
No, I'm so tired of the Arrowverse and all their pretty boy storytelling stuff.
Right, but
Wow.
it's very different from the telling in Titans and Doom Patrol, which they confirmed season 2.
What was confirmed season 2?
Doom Patrol.
Oh yeah, you're right. It was confirmed. But Swamp Thing wasn't. So screw them.
I did watch 4 seasons of Green Arrow now. So
You,
Wait.
you.
I know, but
wait.
until
You
when
went
you're
through
not
4
a-
seasons of that?
until when he was running for mayor, what season was
That's
that?
5. That's like 5.
5 or 6.
Yeah.
I went
No,
that,
you
I
just
went that deep.
you expressed your dislike of these shows.
Well, yeah, I didn't like Flash or and
Dude,
Arrow
this
after
season-
that.
Which, to be honest, Flash, in my opinion, was better than Arrow.
Yeah.
Because I was all in for Grodd, and all I saw was Shadows of Grodd. I'm like, fuck this.
No, he was.
Later
That's
he
what I'm
comes up
saying.
more.
When he first was in it was
They
like,
have Gorilla City at one point.
Yeah. Those
Oh.
PlayStation 2 graphics.
Yeah.
I mean, hey, it's
But
CW,
I'm
they have
telling
the
you,
budget.
like but if you watch Flash, it's like let's see all the costumes that could have happened that were thrown away
okay.
because they all pretty much all of them suck until this season.
This
Yeah.
one-
This season they finally, and the only thing that's missing is the yellow boots.
You know what? I honestly enjoyed all the other costumes, minus the chin strap less one.
Yeah, the one last season.
The one last season.
Yeah, last
I
season
was
terrible.
not a fan of that
No.
because he's like, oh, I get the future costume now. I wasn't
This
a fan.
season, the costume is
great.
Is
Really?
Yeah, he gets the chin strap.
He also
he
gets
gets
the
that
back.
back, but he also gets the right
Yeah.
earpieces.
Yeah, and then
And he's got the lightning on him and everything. The only thing he's missing is the yellow boots.
So almost Flashpoint Flash.
No, it's kind of like current Flash in the comics with all the lines on it and
Yeah.
everything.
Okay, I think it.
Doesn't he just wear like?
No, he's always had the chin piece, and then last season they took away the chin piece. So it was always just a
Because it
headpiece.
was like the future version. He actually
But
got a
to
ring.
do that, they had to make
Right.
the headpiece bigger. So what you got is just a big head Flash running around without a piece
It was-
here.
And to be completely honest, I know that there was a lot of back and forth about this. Grant Gustin does not necessarily have the strong jawline
right.
to have a chinless
Yeah,
Flash suit.
he's no
Yeah.
Henry Cavill.
Hey, no talking shit about him. He's a great Flash. I enjoy him as Barry Allen and everything. But without the chin strap, I feel like there's something missing.
Oh yeah.
Maybe I'm just so used to watching the Flash with the chin strap.
Well, it's like when you watch first season of the show, he's got the blacked out.
I was a little bit upset about that.
Yeah. So
But it came back in season 2. You get the actual load, more or less.
So, moving on from Green Lantern and HBO Max, I'm going to skip the CW stuff now. We're just going to go straight into HBO.
Yeah, let's just end it with that. It's
Yeah.
perfect.
We've been watching The Watchmen, and
Hey,
gotta
said it.
Yeah. Gotta say, I've been digging it. Been loving it.
so I've seen it. Justin's seen it.
I've seen it.
George, you've seen it.
I've seen it.
Joe, have you at least catch at least a glimpse of it?
No.
I want to though. It's not like I'm hating on it. It's just I didn't have time.
This is event
check
viewing.
tomorrow.
This is Game of Thrones style. Like you need to see this
will.
immediately,
I will.
especially as a comic book fan.
Mhm.
It's not that.
And
I'm
you don't
hating on
even
it.
have to be a comic book fan to enjoy it.
Yeah, I
read
mean,
I read the graphic novel, so
Yeah.
So
guys-
you will get better references.
Yeah.
I haven't read the graphic novel. I saw the movie.
Neither have I. I've only seen the movie.
And the movie's different.
Right. This
That's
is
what I hear.
this is
I-
continuing
You don't
the
understand
book's
what the-
ending.
You don't understand what the hell the squids are.
No, I saw that there were squids raining down, and I'm like, huh?
Yeah.
So Justin,
but
throw some knowledge.
At the end of the book, Ozymandias had created a trans-dimensional squid, alien squid, to conquer New York, to bring the governments of the world together,
Right.
so they would have a common focus, basically to unite the world.
right.
Instead
3 million
of Manhattan in the
Instead
movie,
of Manhattan,
it's the squid.
Yeah, and it's kills 3 million people in the process, but it's for the greater good. And and Manhattan and all the people in the Watchmen figure it out because Ozymandias is in his North or his South Pole retreat or whatever. They figure it out. But this is supposed to be after that event has happened, and
The squids are so
the
raining
squids
down.
are kind of like like we don't know what's going on with them. We
I
still
kind of
don't
like
know.
that ending better, to be honest.
No, I
Because
think it's silly, but I haven't read the book.
I'm a
So
big
I don't know the
Lovecraftian fan.
context.
I'm a huge Lovecraftian fan, and a giant
you know, so
trans-dimensional
when you
squid,
read it, you got to understand the time it was written in 1986. Or
Yeah.
something like that.
which Lovecraftian was a big thing.
So, but see, there even in when the guy's being questioned by Glass, he's being like, "Do you believe that there was a trans-dimensional, government conspiracy?"
Yeah, that part threw me off a little bit.
Dude, I have to admit that scene is the best of the fucking show.
Looking
so far.
Glass interviewing
Just
the
that
guy.
pod in interrogation, where they're like, "Oh, throw him in the pod." I'm like, "What does that mean?"
Yeah, it's so
and
odd.
he sits there with the images,
Flashing.
and then you hear, bro, that score by Trent Reznor and Atticus Ross gets you so in the mode into the world of this of this world. To me, it's fucking incredible. Where cops wear masks, just for listeners out there,
Well,
have
this
no
is-
idea what the hell we're talking about.
This
It's 30 years or 30 something years after the events of essentially the Watchmen comic book.
in a
this-
few years after the White Knight event, which is why they wear masks.
No,
This-
it's 3 years after the White Knight event.
A few.
Yeah.
Well, this show is in my wheelhouse because it's alternate take history,
Mhm.
which
Yes.
I love. And in this Nixon, in this storyline, in this world, Woodward and Bernstein mysteriously died, so they never outed Nixon, so Watergate never happened.
Mhm.
So he became a popular president and actually abolished the two-term rule for presidents and served for more than 2 terms.
He served
This
4.
makes a lot of sense.
I
Now.
think in the show they say that he served 4, and then Robert Redford, the actor,
served
served
it was
as
supposed to build off of the Ronald Reagan thing.
Yeah,
right as the Democratic one after, and has been serving for nearly 30 years.
Yeah. And the
that,
whole
okay,
thing,
that makes a lot of sense.
and that you keep hearing the term Redfordations.
Yes,
It's his paying
reparations
Yeah.
back to the
Yeah.
people
To
of
the
Oklahoma.
Specifically from the Tulsa massacre that has been outed in
But
this
there's a different
thing, because
president.
I never knew this was a real life event.
Wait, that was a real event.
That in 1921, the Tulsa massacre of Black Wall Street was real.
Holy shit!
That really fucking happened.
It just goes to show how shitty our history teaches us crap.
Yeah, me too. I'm watching this and I'm like, what? This has to be alternate, and it wasn't. That was real.
Fucking scary.
Redford's not president on the show anymore. It's Klein now. It's like President Klein, I think.
But Redford did serve for
He
an
served for-
extended
yeah.
amount of time.
Yeah.
Oh, really? So Robert Redford is not the current president.
No,
of the
it's
time.
another president right now.
Ah.
Because
But
they
they keep
even show the
mentioning him.
board of presidents because it's Nixon and Redford, and then there's another face next to him.
And then supposedly this in episode 2, Keene might be up and running. Senator Keene might meet the next one.
Yeah.
Which you meet him for 20 seconds?
Yeah, but it's always nice to see this guy get work. The guy who
Yeah.
played Cheyenne Jackson.
Yeah, he's a great actor.
No, he's
I
not.
remember from that.
I like him.
He's from 30 Rock.
Yeah, I
Yes.
like him.
Yes,
that's
that's
always
all-
nice to see him get work.
That's why I
You don't
know,
like
and I've
him?
seen him
Sorry.
in a movie, and he's also in Billions.
But he's always like supporting or one-off characters.
True, he's a character actor.
He's a
But,
character.
okay, so on the show we've got Don Johnson playing the chief of police.
Incredible,
Fantastic.
incredible fucking
Amazing.
role for this
Yes.
Joey Gallo.
And the only character, or the only police officer that is not masked. He's the only one that people know.
He's the face of the police
because
community.
he's chief. I guess because everyone already knows.
Yeah.
Well,
who
he wants
Yeah,
to
all the police wear yellow masks, and then the detectives are actually heroes.
unique masks.
Well,
They're
they're
vigilantes.
they're vigilantes.
Because you have
I really like Red,
Red
Scare.
Star.
Red Scare.
Red Scare, Red
Scare.
Scare,
yeah, Russian with
Looking
like,
Glass.
I love when he's beating
Looking,
someone
I'll
up.
be honest, Looking Glass is my favorite character, and I feel like
Well,
something
Steve
bad.
Blake
can happen.
Nelson.
Oh,
Steve
he's
Blake Nelson.
Tim Blake Nelson is essentially this version's like actual Rorschach, not like the
Yeah.
Cow.
Something bad to happen.
But Red Scare, I laughed so hard when he was beating someone up. It was almost like, oh, fucking Nazi. He goes, I'm not a
I'm
Nazi,
Nazi.
I'm a communist.
Yeah.
I loved it. I love when you first see him. He's eating a Big Mac. He's stuffing his face with a broken mask, just
Yeah.
shoving a Big Mac. In
Yeah, I'm like, a communist is
Plus-
enjoying capitalism?
I love
Well,
that-
because we're not capitalism 100%.
It's so funny.
What I love about the Red Scare is the fact that you have Regina King's character who's wearing a full suit with a hood and rosary beads and
Dude,
has all these
spray painted
thing
on her
eyes.
face.
And then you
Sister
have-
Knight.
and Sister Knight. That's what it is.
Midnight.
Sister Knight.
No,
And then-
tonight? Okay.
And then you have Looking Glass, who's got this thing,
Reflective mask.
and everything. And then you have Red Scare, who's basically effectively wearing a ski mask. You know, it's like
he's in a bunch of red stuff.
Oh, and he's not even hiding his voice. Like he doesn't even hide his accent.
no.
He's
Which I think is-
hardcore. It's like,
It's
I'm
almost
a
like they
communist.
pulled him off the street. Like you'll do. You know.
I love it. You know what? He'd make a great Colossus.
No, because that actor's way too old.
But,
okay, an older call. Whatever.
So you
Fight
have
me.
all this, but then in the cuts between this, you also have Jeremy Irons, who we still don't know who he is,
He's fine.
but this
Adrian
last
Veidt, Ozymandias.
Ozymandias. But this last episode has brought up maybe he's not Adrian Veidt.
Okay. I'm hearing that theory that he might be like human Manhattan,
Mm-hmm.
My issue mainly is
but just
the time jumps.
Manhattan
And
never
Richard
had that
takes
English
place.
accent. Or
So,
did he in the
He
books?
can make that if you want in the books. In the books, you have no accent.
Well, here's the thing: Ozymandias wasn't English in the book either; he was American.
Yeah.
Wow, Matthew Good really ruined that for me in the fucking.
How many episodes are we in?
Two.
Two.
And there's only 9. There's only 9. Damien Lindelof
It's
said
just-
he goes, "I'm doing 9 and
But
I'm
in
done."
this, they
Stupid short.
made a point to mention twice in the last episode that Dr. Manhattan cannot appear human.
They made a point to make it seem that way.
And then he's on
That's
Mars as if he's not coming. Like he's as if he's never leaving Mars.
And they've shown images of Mars and him doing stuff on Mars.
But he can split himself into multiple people.
Exactly. And who's not to say, like, the character who was in the wheelchair, why
Will.
can't he
Will
just...
Reese? Or Will? Yeah, Will
Will.
Reese.
Was Will Reese? Why can't he make himself human? He can do all these other matter-changing things. Why can't he make himself look human?
Well, that's the thing.
I think
That's
he's
what they're
lying about
building
his powers.
towards.
Exactly. That's what I feel. That's what they're building towards.
Because you have this
A big
this episode. He wrote the Jeremy Irons character wrote the play, which is essentially the story of how Dr. Manhattan became Dr. Manhattan. And in that story, you have him killing one of his own people, which apparently he has multiple clones of.
of the same person who are hooded.
It's the same
except
couple.
for-
It's the same man and woman.
Yeah.
Yes.
And they're all stupid because they're all dim-witted.
I love how he's like, "Who are you again?" Well, it's the same guy. Why are you asking?
Well,
me
because
his
they have
name?
different
Names,
names.
they have different names.
I know, but it's
It's
just
like,
so
how would you like to
silly.
be the new Mr. Phillips?
Yeah, the main two are Phillips and I forgot the female's name.
Gretchen or something.
Yeah, the main two are Philip and Gretchen, and he promotes the other clones, I guess.
But
you could
if you notice in the first episode when he has the cake and they're singing for He's a Jolly
Yeah,
Good
the-
Fellow,
yeah,
he's
the-
got one candle.
Yeah, the anniversary.
This one had 2.
yeah, so I mean, he's been doing this a bit. So when does that take place?
Hmm?
That's real.
But
We already know Damon Lindelof likes to play with time.
Exactly, the
Yeah.
time displacement stuff is all over the place, and it frustrates me because I can't get a proper timeline, and I won't be able to polish the last episode.
But there's also other questions like how does the chief of police have the owl ship?
Right.
You know, and then we already
commandeered it.
we all,
Right,
yeah,
but
but
why-
where's
I think since it's 30 years later, I think they've
where's this night owl?
no,
Not night owl.
because remember
Night Owl.
we're in Oklahoma, we're not in New York. I think it's already become a thing within the police force to use
Oh,
that
common
vehicle.
tech?
Yeah, it's common tech.
Okay.
Because again, this is
Because it wasn't the
so far
same. It was
later.
different. It was
Well-
a little different.
We know that Gene Smart's character, the FBI agent,
Mhm.
she's Sally Jupiter.
Which we see this episode, next episode, right?
Next episode.
Next
We
episode.
saw in the first as well.
No, we don't
She
see
was
her
in
in
the
the first.
episode.
She doesn't come in until the police captain dies. Because she's
Died
there
she?
to. Huh?
I don't know.
Yeah, she comes in next episode to help investigate
But,
the
right.
captain's death.
The FBI. I thought you were talking about the one that was driving the Night Owl vehicle.
No. That
Or-
was.
I'm sorry, that's
her character. I don't even think she was important, to be honest.
Okay. But yeah, this thing of bro, it's just
There's a lot.
It's so much-
Joe, it's difficult. I need you to stay focused on this one.
it's difficult to unpack
I read the
when these
graphic
two
novel.
episodes.
I mean, you read the
No,
graphic
because
novel, this
these
is not
two
the graphic
episodes is literally remixing and sequelizing 30 years later and still adding lore within those 30 years. And lore that's 100 years ago as well.
Yeah, so it's
Spectre. I'm sorry.
it's changing a whole lot of the lore of it.
Well, so
Past, future, and present.
Gene Smart's character, she's Silk Spectre. She's the one. She's Laurie Giuspezza.
The current suspected, the second. The
Yes.
second one.
Yes.
So she's the second one,
But
the one who
she's
was her
embraced-
mother's shadow.
Yes, but she's embraced her father's name because the comedian was her illegitimate father, and he was Blake. And in the show, her name's Laurie Blake.
Okay, I can dig it.
So you're talking about the FBI lady that we will get in the third episode.
Yeah, she's
Yeah,
Silk
that we got
Spectre.
the preview of.
When does it air?
Every
Sundays
Sundays.
on HBO.
This is the Sunday HBO,
Yeah, that's why
which
it's
you
like-
know it's a big deal because the Sunday episodes are the big ones.
Right, that's why I was like, this is HBO's like prime thing. Before this was Succession, and that was great too.
Mhm.
Another
Game
one
of
I
Thrones
really
was before it.
right. I really wish we get Succession in fucking 4K,
You have a lot of things you want in 4K, but you know what?
especially when it's pretty. Like when it's well directed, bro. It needs to be filmed at the highest.
Episode 1, though, who loved the bloodstain on the badge
Yeah,
Mhm.
that was 100% Watchmen cover?
Oh yeah.
Beautiful.
But in this episode, finding out about the captain,
Well, is it real? The clan,
I just love how she went back to Luke Gus Jr. He's like, he told me he had skeletons in his closet. And he throws the things. Well, I didn't mean literally.
Yeah, I love it.
and he's like, "What do you mean?" He goes, "I went to his closet." He goes, "Well, I didn't mean literally." I'm like, "Damn, you actually found it in his closet."
And she was right. It was too easy to find. There was no fingerprint sensor, no code. She just opened the closet and it was a Klansman outfit with a badge on it.
And he's like,
huh?
"Where was it?" She's like, "Upstairs." He goes, "Well, I can't go upstairs." He goes, "You hung a man from the tree." He goes, "That's true."
That's true.
Oh yeah, but the end of episode 2. You know what, Joe? Plug your ears. I don't even want you to hear this. He keeps saying, "I have friends in high places to get me out of this situation." She puts him in the car to like go arrest
She's
him
gonna arrest
officially.
him. Well, the whole thing is that at the end of the first episode, Don Johnson's character is hung from a tree.
The chief of police.
The chief of police. And Louis Gossett Jr., who's in a wheelchair, who you've met earlier in the show, is sitting at the base, or is in his wheelchair at the base of the
saying
tree.
that he did it.
And he said, "I hung your captain from the tree." So she picks him up. She takes him to her secret hideout at a bakery and interrogates him. And then gets his fingerprints and tries to find out more about him. She ends up finding out that he's actually her grandfather.
Oh wow.
Okay.
Time travel bullshit.
No.
No.
Well, time bullshit because we're fucking with time because they keep showing his younger years.
Well, I would say
I don't think
fucking with time.
Yeah,
it's
he's
just a
105.
flashback.
I'm tired of these fucking flashbacks happening first.
I don't care. I like
No,
it.
it's adding more to the lore. I think it's great because
Yeah.
the whole episode begins with in the war in World War II.
Yeah.
Okay.
You have the Nazis creating a pamphlet that basically asks all the black soldiers why they're fighting for the Americas because they're subjugated and oppressed
Right.
in America,
Right.
and that in Germany they don't do that. So maybe you shouldn't be fighting. For them.
Another thing I did not know was real. That
Yes.
propaganda
Yeah.
was real.
Yeah,
Because
yeah, yeah.
separation was still happening
Because
in
in
the
the
US.
first episode during the Black Wall Street thing, there's a young kid who gets put on a carriage, taken off without his parents, and his parents write a letter that says, "Watch over this kid." It's written on the back of that pamphlet that was found in his because his father was fought.
They were.
There are a lot of
dropping those
connections
from
and it's
planes.
frustrating.
Those
Right.
planes
So
were being dropped from
that
planes
so
and-
a guy, a soldier, gets it, goes
Right.
back home to Tulsa, Oklahoma in 1921. This is the Black Wall Street massacre. He puts
Another soldier
take care of
another
this
person-
boy or whatever in his kid's thing and sets him off not to be killed in this fucking massacre.
And then you had this 105-year-old man who's saying he hung this police captain, who then gets picked up by the main character, Midnight, who then goes to her bakery and then interrogates him. He says, "Hey, I got friends in high places. I'll be out of here. I'm cool." She eventually puts him in the
Well,
car to take him to get booked.
She says that what makes you think why I should arrest you? And he's like, I get out. I have friends in high places.
Yeah, he's cool with it.
So
He's super cool.
She takes him to her car. She puts him in the car, and then she's trying to put the wheelchair in the back seat, and all of a sudden a magnet falls from the sky
From an airship.
onto the top of her car, and picks up her car with him in the window with a big smile on his face, and carries the car off. It basically looks like the owl ship or something
The
similar.
biggest what the fuck I had.
And then out of the
Following
ship,
a what the fuck moment because she had just found out this is her grandfather.
This is her
And
grandfather.
her parents never told her about.
Yeah.
And her dude, who she counts as an uncle, is part of the KKK.
Yeah, the chief of police was
It was
actually
literally
a Klan.
what the fuck after what the fuck after what the fuck
Yeah.
with more questions.
well, you find out a little
Frustrating.
bit more about the White Knight.
Whoa, you watch Lost.
You
Watch past tense.
Well, it's still Damon Lindelof. It's the same guy.
No, it's frustrating though.
So that's the ultimate problem with this show that I'm afraid of is that all these great things are just going to ultimately lead nowhere.
no, I
No,
feel
I-
it's gonna lead somewhere.
Okay, so I heard.
That's how we felt about Lost.
I heard fuck, I forgot who was the interview, doing the interview with Damon Lindelof. But he said, he goes, yeah, 9 episodes, one and done. But we did talk about when to hint at stuff, when to reveal things. Finale, before that, 7 or 4. And people are like, wow, like you're going to reveal stuff as early as 4? They go, yeah, because then it will propel us to the next plot.
Yeah, he's 100% about. I'm going to give you this huge answer that's going to give you 5 more questions because fuck you.
Right, because now we got okay. Will may have killed Don Johnson's character because he was a Klan member. He said that he has guns in his closet. Okay, cool. Now it begs the question: why would a Klan member befriend Regina King's character who is black to the point of they were literally having play date family?
That was considered like an uncle,
like a
for
father
her.
figure for her.
A father figure for her and an uncle to her adopted kids who were her partners. Kids.
Dude,
Topher.
the white knight explanation to me is another what the fuck moment. Because when he says, "Oh, you took out your perp," and that's it, and I'm like, wait, but there was a second.
He
There
said
was a
30
second guy.
houses were hit.
Yeah,
30 cops killed and their spouse.
no, most killed, but he said the majority of the force resigned.
Yeah, no. 30 of the force. The force is bigger than 30.
So-
So 30 were probably killed, give or take.
Do we think that Don Johnson was one of them? He was the second guy.
What was it?
I think he's involved because it was the 7th Cavalry. I think he's involved with them some way somehow. And then I'm really liking this rumor thing of who Will is, the man in the wheelchair. He might be the original Hooded Justice.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I think that's what they're pretty much.
I
that's-
feel like
That whole Hooded Justice scene,
that was amazing.
Yeah, that was great. I just
I liked it.
slamming that guy's fucking face
over, and then he picks up the cash register. He's like, "Well, I'm gonna pick this up and smash it on top of your broken
even
face."
I, who love this shit, was just like, "Dude, you got him. Okay, he's down."
Yo, you see it in the face of the person who's behind the register, and he's like, "Oh, we're done? No, still smashing your face."
So-
And register.
Is it
Cool.
wrong that when he jumped through the window, my first thought was, "God, that's gonna pay for that? That's fucked up."
You know what? Why didn't he go to the door? There was a perfectly
I
good
understand
door.
dramatic entrances, but come on, man. This
He
is-
could have just stepped in through the door.
So
I mean,
my
killing
one,
these dudes that were essentially just robbing a place was a little excessive.
Yeah, a little bit.
Hey, back in the day, it's all about excessiveness.
So I got to get one gripe out of the way, and the one gripe I have with the show, and it's not a big thing. It's just something that I have a problem with. I really hate what they're doing to Rorschach's legacy.
Oh,
Yes.
okay, I'm with you, but I love it more because
it makes it make sense.
it's literally a villainized radical extremist group
I
using a
understand-
symbol that stood for something else and twisting it.
No,
Yeah,
but
like a
it's,
frog.
Exactly what the Nazis did
no. Why
to
I'm
the swastika.
yeah no why I'm
Yeah.
liking it is because it works so well in the show. I just hate that in general, Rorschach will now be remembered as a white
That does
supremacist
frustrate me
symbol.
because I love Rorschach as a character.
Yeah, that's why.
And
Rorschach was the one,
But-
the kind of the voice of reason.
but there might do something with that towards the end.
I hope so because I hate the idea of Rorschach now just being a symbol of white.
But
supremacy.
how about the whole TikTok thing? The time climbing down, the minutes to midnight, all that
Well, that
stuff.
was all part of the original Watchmen.
I know, and I love it. I love how they're incorporating slightly. They're just touching on it, little
I-
here and
I
there.
love-
the Watchman's son, all these little things.
I love that it's the attention to detail of technology. There's no internet. There's no cell phones. So there's no advances in communicational
cheaper.
technology.
or information.
But there's a lot of advancement in medical technology and in other because their cars hum.
Mm-hmm.
Other cars sound like non-carbon based cars.
yeah,
so it's
and-
like, oh,
and
shit.
they have the owl ship essentially.
So it's funny how this is a world where they focus less on the transfer of information and social media, less of that,
because comedy is Russia.
and more on health and transportation.
Comedy is Russia.
I thought
The motherland.
So-
yes, we should end it there, and we'll continue probably every week until this is done because this is amazing.
This is the new Game of Thrones. This is the weekly talk about show right here.
Mm-hmm.
This is our new thing.
We
Joe,
gotta get our friends to talk about this.
Joe, you gotta get
I'll
on
watch
that.
it.
Listeners, get on that.
Yeah, everyone get on it because we're gonna talk about it every week. Deal
I'll
with
watch
it.
it Sunday.
Sunday.
Wait, Sunday? That means you have to watch 3 episodes
Well, I'll watch the first 2 Saturday or tomorrow.
and then keep up with it.
Right.
All right, let's
Good.
do it.
Okay, and then on that note, I think we're just going to end it right there.
Thanks for listening.
Thank you for being on. Thank you for listening to us. Remember, all social media, Rogue Nation Pod. all places
podcast
all podcast channels you can listen to podcasts. We're there. Let us know
Apple,
what you think.
Google, Stitcher, Spotify, and YouTube.
Yep. Let us know what you think.
Rate, review, star us,
Even if we're terrible,
comments,
just give us a good
Tell
shout.
us who
Let
you
us
love the
know.
most.
scream into the void,
Yeah, and we'll see y'all next week.
ring that bell.
Rogue out.